What's going on, people? It's your boy, Uncle Fred. Mid January, and I'm coming to you like this with this kind of face, so you already know what's done already happened. And January playoffs, and things didn't go our way, as they often don't. We're going to talk about that. Uh, Here we go. Here we went. We're going to talk about it. Let's go. Two times on. What's good, people? It's your boy Uncle Fred back in the house, back in the saddle one more again. Please hit that like, comment if you come through and check in with me on my chat, on my live here. Go ahead and hit that like button. It lets everybody know that there's cowboy content on this channel. And yeah, about that. Cowboys lose 48-32. Yeah, I didn't stutter. 48-32. Yeah, and my caption says "Here we go" because that's the kind of offense we've been running. And here we go. That was catchy, and I was loving that. I was liking to hear that. Here we go, and I heard it a bunch today. Here we go, and here we went. Bounced right out of the playoffs. And what makes it so troubling is that we worked so hard and we did all the things we could do to get that number 2 seed and then didn't do a dadgum thing with it. And we're going home, packing up as garbage bags at everybody's locker, and everybody going home. And some people ain't coming back to the start in a couple of weeks. They're done. There's some people that's done. And we're going to talk about that too. So Cowboys lose 48-32. Let me be perfectly honest, man. We was embarrassed today. And, a lot of talk had been going down because, it's about 7 or 8 teams that had coaching vacancies. And there was a lot of head coaches that had coaching jobs that was looking for coaching jobs. And there's a certain coach that just got let go or released out of the Northeast that was attached to the Cowboys for some particular reason. And I will credit Mike Fisher of Cowboy SI.com. It basically said that, Mike, Big Mike, Mike McCarthy was going to be safe, for, this year. Provided he said now, I mean, they said there's no guarantee with Jerry. Jerry will get a wild hair and do whatever. But he said, providing, we don't lose like, I don't know, 50-7 or something. And I'm sitting there like, as I'm watching the game, I'm like, maybe not 50, but damn close. It's damn close. And if he loses the locker room, those were the 2 prerequisites that he had said. Like, Jerry stopped short of giving him a full vote of confidence. And basically, it was said that, hey, unless he goes out there and the team just totally looks like, totally loses the team totally loses the locker room, something like that could happen. And when I tell you the Cowboys were embarrassed today, looked like they were totally unprepared today, looked like they were totally unfocused today, looked like they were totally disjointed today, looked like they're totally disinterested today. Yeah, this is the kind of loss that can get you fired. Okay. even though you didn't deserve to get fired. But if you got the kind of stuff on the line that the Cowboys have on the line, and look, I'm gonna say this because there's a lot of pressure on the Cowboys. It's a lot of pressure when you play for the Cowboys because number one, you play for the highest valued franchise in sports. You play for an owner that makes it harder to win because he kind of entertains distractions that makes it where it's like you're walking on a tightrope across two buildings and he's shooting cannons in the background. That would be kind of distracting. That's Jerry Jones. Okay. Uh, that's Jerry Jones, right? So you always got distractions of some sort that you gotta navigate. You gotta fit that in your game preparation and stuff like that. All right. What's up, Danny? What's next for our Dallas Cowboys? Fire Mike McCarthy, getting rid of Dak Prescott, Tony Pollard, DeMarcus, Dan Quinn. I don't know. I'm gonna say this: it's gonna be somebody. It's gonna be some changes gonna be made. That's for sure. There's gonna be some changes made. But here's the thing: if you just got rid of because the low hanging fruit that's on my little tab there, get rid of Dak Prescott. You do know you'd be getting rid of an All-Pro quarterback who didn't have a particularly good game today, and seems to not have particularly good games in these types of games. But I will also say that it didn't look like that McCarthy had a whole lot going on with the offense today because I was looking at the game log, and when we was really trying to do some stuff, I saw a lot of first down runs when the Packers had 5-man defensive line fronts, which is unless your offensive line is really, stout up front like that, you can't really do that. And then Dak made a couple of mistakes, man. But the thing is, most Cowboy fans, if you just started over, who you gonna replace Dak with? That's the question I always go. You think you can just invent a quarterback and he can get you into the playoffs? He can throw 30 touchdowns and throw 6 interceptions, throw for 4,000 yards, and make all the right plays. Don't make any mistakes and get you, and he has to be where Dak is in terms of understanding the game, but you just acquiring him. So you would say go draft a guy and he would have like a 5, 8, 7, 8, 9-year quarterback's knowledge as a rookie. In other words, you would basically say, go draft C.J. Stroud, because that's kind of what you would want, because Houston got a perfect situation. But for every C.J. Stroud, there's I hate to say it, there's a Bryce Young, I'm a Todd supporter, but he's not looked good, So for every one of those, there's a Zach Wilson. For every one of them, there's a what's the dude's name that got drafted by the Cardinals? Josh Rosen. For every one of those guys, it's one of those guys. It's 5 of those dudes. So, yeah, you could get rid of Mike McCarthy, and they probably will get rid of Mike McCarthy because, as I was saying, Danny, I was listening to Mike Fisher, and I listened to a lot of content, different Cowboy content creators and stuff like that, because I kind of have steered myself away from the 4, 3-letter networks, and I've kind of listened to Cowboy because they usually have a more of a honest approach as opposed to the 4-letter networks who seem to always have an agenda, and they try to, but Mike Fisher basically said that, he didn't see any way that Mike McCarthy would get fired, but, hey, you go out there and they, Cowboys look totally inept. They get beat 50-7 or something, or loses the locker room, hey, they might just do something, because you'd have to do something, man. Hey, at some point in that game was 27-0. All right. And then you look at, Dak missed a couple throws, but dang, CeeDee Lamb had balls on 3rd and 8, just right in his hand over the middle. The passes he catches in his sleep. Didn't catch him. Pass he had on the sideline went right between his hands. Pass he catches every day with his eyes closed. Didn't catch it. And it was a play on the left sideline where he's running a route and the guy kind of bumped him. And he kind of like took himself out of the play. I'm like, what are you doing, man? It's a playoff game. And I don't know, man. It just looked, I don't know. It just looked like everybody was like off a skosh, and I don't know why. I don't know why. And yeah, they're probably going to get rid of Mike McCarthy, even though he's at 3, 12, and 5 seasons. And nobody else in the league has got 3, 12, and 5 seasons. No other team has done that. But you marry that to you're 1-3 in the playoffs. You got one playoff win over a 9-8 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It may have been 8-9. That so you don't have a lot to show for it in the postseason. You got good regular seasons, okay? But let's say this, and this is my opinion. I believe that the way the Cowboys operate, that it takes a certain mentality to play in the playoffs, is that we don't really do that well. And I could say, yeah, replace Dak. Okay, fine. But Tony Romo did the same thing. And that was 10, 12 years ago, 15, 12, 13 years ago. It was the same thing. Oh, yeah, we can replace Mike McCarthy. Yeah, we had Jason Garrett, and it was kind of the same thing. We'd have some good regular seasons, and then we play a weird game in the playoffs and then lose. Dan Quinn, yeah, and we had what's his name? Rod Marinelli, and Rob Ryan. We had some decent defensive coordinators, and somehow playing the Rams, and we gave up 300 yards almost rushing. It was always something. It's like whatever we do in the playoffs, you go over here, and then this thing over here don't do well. Okay, the offense ain't doing well, but we got a great defense. We can just hold them until the offense kind of finds its identity. But no, the defense didn't show up either. So, and to me, Dan Quinn is already gone because, I don't know if Seattle promised him a job, but if they saw this film, they're like, you know what, man, we're going to look at other candidates. We'll get back to you. Let's see. Cowboy Danny. What else did you say? Cowboy Danny says, but I want a higher draft pick for quarterback and running backs and linebackers. Yeah, well, look, man. I think that linebacker thing is a thing because that's one of my talking points. I don't know if y'all watched any of my earlier videos. It's sort of like in Dan Quinn's system, we're kind of averse to run it to our linebackers, and that's fine if you got the lead and you making teams throw. But in the event you get behind and teams want to line up and smash mouth you, you got 205-pound safeties trying to fill the hole and make runs. I saw on that goal line. One of them Aaron Jones runs that here comes Marquise Bell, number 14, trying to come up in there and got just pushed to the side like he was a fly on a windshield. Be 205 pounds. What are you going to do? You 205. And we don't want to play linebackers. We think linebackers are like an old school way of playing football. Everybody's throwing the ball, except when they're not. Except when we're not. When they're not playing, except when we get behind and teams want to like run clock and stuff, yeah, then you're playing Buffalo and they see you, they got a 12 personnel and you running a nickel with five defensive backs and 6 defensive backs, and you just line up and run and get 6-7 yards every play, because you don't have a linebacker you can put in there. The only decent linebacker you had, you let him go. You got one linebacker on your roster, Play calls were trash. Yeah, they were trash. I thought Mike McCarthy was a little scared early. I was listening to Vosh Lombardi earlier. He came on right after the game. I wanted to hear what his thoughts were, some of the other guys. And he was saying that Mike McCarthy called a scared game. When he gets nervous, he calls a lot of conservative running plays. 1st and 10, even when they got a 5-man defensive line, he's calling a running play and it's 2 yards. 2nd and 8. Calling that same play again, and it's 2 yards. Now it's 3rd and 6. Now you gotta, you know, um, it's like I don't want to make a mistake. So it's always easy to just run it, but then you got a 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7, which those are difficult conversions to make, and it's just what it was. Yeah, I thought play calling was trash, and yeah, we were off. I mean, it was just off, but. For some reason, why are we off when the games mean the more? When you got to lock in the most? That's something we gotta figure out, man. Bad intentions. We gotta figure that out, man. Yeah, that's because it happens too often. Happened in 2021. We played San Francisco the first time. Everybody, the offense is off. And that was, you can't blame that on Mike. That was Kellen Moore. It's just a little off. Everybody's a little off. A little out of sync. Like I said, a couple of Dak's throws were off. And looked like he was a little high early. Maybe he's a little keyed up a little bit. I thought Mike was trying to. I think Mike kind of maybe had him a little tight. If you saw him in the media all week, they was trying to like, well, you're getting ready to play Green Bay. Look, I don't want to talk about Green Bay, dadgummit. I coached there a long time ago. That's a long time ago. They ain't got nothing to do with now. And I'm like, oh, dang, Mike. I mean, they're just making conversation. Why are you so uptight? And I think that kind of had everybody in a ringer, kind of. Whereas if you saw Green Bay, they look, loosey-goosey. Let's go play football. And I think you play better when you're loose. That's just me. I think when you loose and you can just kind of like, you can, but when you tight, man, it's like then things don't go your way. What do? You start pressing. And I thought once it got 7-0, I said, then we missed that 3rd down when he missed CD. Well, he didn't miss him. CD flat dropped that. He dropped that. That was a clean drop. That was in his bread box. And then it's like, oh, okay, we didn't stop them, and they're getting ready. When we got a punt, and then we got the ball back, and that's when he threw the pick. But CD had dropped another one on the sideline, and then he's like, well, look, I'm gonna go to Cooks. I got to go to somebody, and then Cooks. I think Cook got interfered with on that play though, because I still think he kind of pulled his shoulder pads where he couldn't get to the football. But Olsen said, yeah, you gotta let him play for the ball. I thought that could have been a penalty for me, but. Jimmy Johnson is 81 years old, Danny. But shoot, he got some fire though. I mean, I don't know about the energy and stuff like that. If you ain't noticed, man, the older coaches are stepping down. The Pete Carrolls, the Bill Belichick's, the Nick Sabans, the older coaches are stepping down. Let's see, bad intentions. Doing what we can to stop the bullshit. Service 2 decades. Let's start doing this. Can we stop the bullshit? Dak Prescott a decade of service and 2 playoff wins. Yeah, but you could say the same thing about Tony Romo. Bad intentions, a decade of service and 2 playoff wins, right? They had good regular seasons, but somehow they don't do it in the playoffs or whatever. I mean, look, man. You can say, let's get rid of Dak Prescott. That just seems easy. That's low-hanging fruit. What are you going to replace him with? Because are you ready to go 4-13, 5-12 for a couple of seasons while a new quarterback figures it out? Because you're not going to do that. So, and I'm going to tell you what we need to do. Some heads need to roll, but it don't need to. But we're stopping too low on the body. You need to go all the way to the head. But that's not going to happen. Because as long as that little beady-eyed guy owns the team, it's going to be that way. And we'll always blame the players. I'm going to tell you something Jesse Holley said. And y'all may not know who Jesse Holley is. He played for the Cowboys back in like the 2010s or whatever. He used to be a wide receiver. Caught this 62-yard touchdown on the 49ers back in, I think, 2010 or 11, one of those years in there. But anyway, he's a content creator now. He played for the Cowboys, and he also has played for the New England Patriots. Okay. When he left here, he went to play for New England. He said on many occasions, they'd be preparing, Jason and whatever, and the coaches there would be preparing, and Jerry would stop production, stop everything to have them go do photo ops and stuff for some people he was wanting to show around and stuff. Or they would give somebody who was a musician, he would stop and let them do an impromptu concert or something right in the middle of their game prep and stuff like that. Of course, you got to do it because Jerry said do it. He leaves and goes to New England. And of course, the question was, could you think we'd hire Bill Belichick? He said, well, Bill ain't going to put up with that kind of stuff because that didn't go on with Bill. And so I'm saying that to say there's a circus carnival type atmosphere with our Cowboys. And as long as Jerry wants to make the marketing and the pageantry just as important as the football on the field, you're going to come up with these things on Sundays in the playoffs. You just will, because other teams take the games way more seriously than we do. They just do. What did Chidi Bear Woozier said when he was in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago for the Cincinnati Bengals? He said, "You play for the Cowboys, then you play for the Bengals. What's the difference?" He said, "Well, here it's all about football, which means in Dallas it's about other things other than football, and there are distractions." So that means you kind of got to, like I said, you're walking across a tightrope between two buildings and Jerry's firing off cannons. You got to concentrate. That's what I'm talking about. And so, yeah, you can get rid of Dak Prescott, and then the same dude that you bring in would have the same distractions. See, when you go to other teams, you can just play. Only thing you got to worry about is your playbook, your coach, and performing on the field. Here, you got to do so much other stuff. So, that's just my impression. Like I said, it's always Dak, but nobody says nothing about them when the defense gave up a 40. You do know they scored 7 touchdowns, right? Okay, all right. So I don't know what the quarterback is. It's going to be hard to go against 7 touchdowns the team scored. Okay, just saying. I think nobody played well today. Nobody played well today. Offense, Dak put up some good numbers, but if you look at the stats, we outstatted them. We had 500 yards of offense, 37 first downs. A lot of them was in garbage time, though. So, and think about it. As well as we played in the second half, damn, if we'd have got a couple of stops somewhere in there, if you don't let Luke Musgrave walk to the end zone from 40 yards out with nobody covering him, how does that happen? This isn't high school. This is like high leverage football. The Cowboys are a $9 billion operation. And you got a tight end that basically leaves the line of scrimmage and nobody picks him up and he goes 38 yards. There's nobody within 30 yards of him. What are you going to do with that? I just don't know what you do with that. You can't do nothing with that. That was the kind of stuff I was like, yeah, bye-bye McCarthy. Like I said, it's a shame because I thought he did some good things, but it don't happen in the playoffs. But if you get another coach, it's going to be the same thing because he's got to put up with the Jerry show. And as long as Jerry's on it, he's going to insist on having the show. It never dawns on him like, well, man, gee, maybe I should stop pushing all the dog and pony show and just concentrate on the football. Gee, I'm 81, 82. I ain't got too many times and many more looks at this thing. That's what I would say. But who am I? I'm not a $30 billion man. So I don't, because I'm a regular wage earning Joe, maybe I don't think like them. Things have to sort of make sense for me. But, sometimes the $1 billion guys think differently than us. So I was all on Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, mad at Dak Prescott. CeeDee wants Dak gone. Uncle, you think CeeDee wants Dak gone? I don't know why. He got him 135 catches this year. I mean, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I think CD dropped some passes. Maybe Dak won't CD gone. You know, uh, 83. What do you remember on May 10th, 1983? Uh, you remember those playoffs? Yeah. Defense need more accountability as well. I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with the defense. Okay, the defense, because we were running a freaking soft zone. We don't play zone. I'm not some football expert in terms of like X's and O's and stuff like that, but I do know this. You play zone when you got suspect corners that can't cover. So you cover as a group, you cover as a collective, right? We got cover corners that's supposed to be able to cover, right? So tell me why they're playing zone and playing 10, 12 yards off of guys, giving these inexperienced receivers clean releases, which it says so on my thumbnail there. The clean releases, you're not jamming them at the line of scrimmage and all that stuff. You're not redirecting them. You're not doing all. You're just letting them just run willy-nilly off the line of scrimmage and just catch. Because a couple of them was like third and long. It takes long. It takes time to get 12, 13, 14, 15, 18 yards down the field. And they just got clean releases and ran right down the middle of the field. Turnaround, ball was there, first down. And we didn't get a single sack, people. Now, like I said, you can blame Dak and stuff. Dak didn't play well. Dak is, he had some decent numbers, but the pick six that in the second quarter probably was the thing that probably sealed the game, because once we gave 27-0, I pretty much knew that we were done, because it's kind of like difficult to overcome a 27-0 deficit unless the team helps you out. As you remember in the Super Bowl back in 2017 season, the Patriots were down 28-3. And it took everything that the Patriots had to tie that at the end of regulation, which is a 25-point deficit. You was playing with the best quarterback in the history of football, as they say. And you was just able to do that, right? So I knew at that point, like, oh, that might have been the nail, because I felt like had we scored on that drive and made it like 20-7 or 20-3 or 20 whatever, and then we scored those two times in the third quarter, it could have been 20-14, 20-15 or something like that, and we're in the game. But that kind of like made it out of reach, and you couldn't really, and they were throwing two double slants, and the guy jumped it. He slid underneath it, and when he threw it, he wasn't there. But when he threw it, the guy jumped the route, and that's when you're down 20-0, you get put in positions where you got to throw the football, and that's kind of like we're not a team that's really supposed to throw the ball every down. We're kind of built to throw the ball, 25 to 30 times a game, run the football, that sort of thing. We're not built to throw the ball every down. But when you're down 27-0 or 20-0, yeah, you kind of do, because that's what we do to teams, right? We score first, because if we'd have won the toss, we'd have went down and scored. Then we would have made them, try to play from behind. Because when you play from behind, you start to become slightly one-dimensional. When you start playing one-dimensional, people can gamble and do stuff to you and make you and stuff. See, the idea is you don't get down 20-0. That's kind of how you fix that. But we got down 20-0. Yeah, Bill Belichick sucks, whatever. Yeah, look, if we get another coach, this is what I want. This is just Uncle Fred, right? I want a young, innovative coach. And you got to, ain't nobody going to promise me nothing. I'm just me. I'm just a guy in a laptop, right? But you got to promise me that you're going to let that guy do his job, and you do his job and get out of his way. Let him handle his business. Yeah, get you what's the guy's name in Houston? Bobby, or God, I can't think his name, or Ben Johnson. But Ben Johnson he's got eyes on some other teams, and see, got coaches that run their own sort of thing, not gonna come to Dallas where they can be micromanaged. That's the thing you got to worry. That's the thing you got to look at. They're not wanting to. They're not wanting to do that. And I had a question on my thumbnail, on my little caption, as you see running my crawl there. Did Michael Parsons even play today? I'm just asking. I'm asking facetiously because he got a holding call in the first half, and I was giving a little golf cheer because he ain't had a holding call since like October, right? He got a holding call. That's about the only time I heard his name mentioned. Okay. Now I'm gonna come at Micah a little bit too because I know everybody comes at Dak, but Micah turns the volume up a little too loud for me. Um, I'm in my 50s, so I don't get with the young guys motivation of things. To me, I'm not doing a freaking podcast. I'm in the playoffs. I'm trying to be locked in. I'm trying to be, zoned in. I'm in my playbook. I'm looking at tendencies. I'm going back and forth with my coaches. What do you think? What are you seeing? That's what I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time to be critiquing how some dude got burnt in the Cleveland Houston game and putting it on Twitter. I ain't got time for that. All right. Now, how does that look today? You got a 48 burger hung on you. How it look? See, I got issues with that. See, somebody got to pull him to the side, like, dude, you're a great player, but you got to get some of this other stuff and distractions. Distractions are a thing when you're playing the game. Distractions need to be kept to a minimum. Because other teams, are zeroed in. Did it look like the Packers were distracted? Or did it look like they were keyed in? It looked like they was more prepared for us than we were for them, didn't it? Okay. I bet they weren't on Twitter critiquing other teams. Why is he even doing a pick'em show? Guys know I do a pick'em show, me and my cousin, we do it, but I don't play. All right? I don't play. I'm not playing in the NFL. I can pick teams for fun and say who I think wins and stuff like that. I can do that. You're playing. Why are you picking teams? Why are you on the thing going, hey, I think that team is trash. What are you doing? I think somebody to pull Micah to the side. And I think Michael Irvin was doing some of that, was trying to work with him. Like, dude, you kind of got to, it's enough distractions without you adding to them. It's enough distraction just being a Cowboy, right? And then you have to add all these other things to the equation and stuff. And then he didn't play well. Like I said, I didn't even hear his name mentioned other than he got a holding call. Did he play? Actually, I'm lying. I did remember one play. He tried to get a quarterback pressure, and the guy the running back kind of came up. I want to say if it was Aaron Jones and kind of stuck him in the stomach. And he went to the sideline, but that's it. I don't remember him making another play. I don't remember him registering a tackle. I don't remember him getting close to the quarterback. I don't remember he didn't make a sack. I don't remember him. And if you're a guy that will tell anybody that will listen that you're the best defensive player in the NFL, I'm like that or whatever, and you don't register anything, yeah, I'm gonna need you to play better when playing better is required. It ain't just Dak Prescott. Michael Parsons is arguably the best player on our team. How did he play today? Just a question. He's arguably the best player on our team. And I didn't see nothing from him today. You crying? No, don't cry, man. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Don't cry. This Gallup. No, but you know what though, man? Y'all gonna have to get off of Michael Gallup. I've been busting on Michael Gallup all year, man. Michael Gallup has 6 catches, 103 yards. He caught a nice 35-yard seam route. Because Dak was like, I can't trust nobody else. I guess I'll go to Michael Gallup. Every time I see Michael Gallup come on the field, I'm cringing. I'm like, oh. I said, well, CD is dropping passes. I guess we got to go somewhere. But Michael Gallup answered the bell today. I mean, it wasn't enough, but, it wasn't enough to justify $13.5, $14 million or whatever he's making or whatever. But, So I'm not going to knock Michael Gallup. He showed up and played today, but, he still too little too yet. Romo, Dez, Dak, Lamb, similar and performing and coming up short. Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna put Romo and Dez on that thing because that 2014 team, we got robbed. That was a hell of a game we played in that game, and I think that Dez caught it. That was a touchdown. We might have won that game and went on to the NFC Championship game. Had we won that, I think we would have won that game. But you know, I'm beating a dead horse on that. Is Jerry calling play? No, he ain't calling plays. I'm just saying, when I say Jerry is a distraction, I'm just saying he adds things. It's things that he adds to the equation that you don't get when you play for other teams. You don't have to worry about him saying inflammatory things in the press conference that you got to answer questions about later. Jeffrey Lurie ain't saying that. Okay. The McCaskills aren't saying stuff like that. Okay. Those people aren't doing that. They kind of stay in their place. And, I'm not trying to tell somebody got a place, but yeah, you got a place. Owners should be seen and not heard. I don't want to hear from you. Why you got a radio show? I don't want to hear from you. He has a mentality like he thinks he's one of the players. He's a star. Like when he goes to thing, he's signing autographs. I don't see, none of the other owners signing autographs. I think that's an issue, but that's another topic for another day. Exactly, Uncle Fred. We don't play zone. No, you're right. No, we don't play zone. We ain't play zone all season. I've never seen us play zone because God made the big one. I said, there was that soft zone. I'm like, Greg Olson. I'm saying, we don't play zone. We ain't play zone. You play zone if you got corners that can't cover. Bland can cover. Now, obviously, Stephon Gilmore can cover. He's a former defensive player of the year. I mean, I know that was 4 years ago, but he got beat on one I thought was like, come on, Stephon, I think you're better than that. Where the receiver, the inside receiver, kind of like made a move that made him stutter, and then the other guy kind of went inside of him and went up the seam, and like it was like a 20-yard touch. I'm like, come on, Steph, you're better than that, man. And I was like, that one kind of hurt because that's like a second-year receiver schooling like a vet, and that's not supposed to happen. People, that ain't supposed to happen. That's like them dudes. We're talking about Jaden Reed. If you're talking about Christian Watson, if you're talking about D'Antonium Wicks, them dudes are like first and second year players. They got, as Stephen A. would say, their breath smell like Similac. They don't even know what they don't know. And this guy, is a veteran. He got Pro Bowls and Super Bowl championships, and you're not supposed to be getting schooled by them. Okay. That was hurtful. Sorry for the loss. I'm a Bills fan. Kind of weather you guys think y'all gonna have tomorrow, Lori? Hoping this is our year, but I really thought the Cowboys were going to slam. Yeah, I thought it was too. I'm gonna say this. I saw a lot of people in the chat in the different content spaces that thought that we were going to just smoke them like 35-10 or something like that. I never thought that because I seen that team the latter half of the year, and I saw Jordan Love just dicing teams up, and they were playing some good football down the stretch, And I thought like if we don't get pressure on him, I'm thinking we're going to get some pressure, but I think he's going to make some throws, and they'll probably score 24, 25 on us or whatever. I had no idea they would score. What did they score? Like 38, and of course we gave them 2 picks that set up. One was for a touchdown, the other one set up a touchdown. So that was 14. So you take 14 from 48. What is that? 34. We gave them 30. They scored 34 points. Okay, or 35. They missed a few extra points. So basically, they scored 5 touchdowns. But yeah, good luck tomorrow, man. I hope the weather holds up on that. I think y'all will beat Pittsburgh, and then y'all be hosting Kansas City, I think. So that should be an interesting game. So yeah, it'll be good if y'all got y'all a Super Bowl, man. That'd be good. I wouldn't mind seeing y'all win one. There they go. Yeah, there they went. Oh, Stephen A. is gonna crush us. Yeah, ain't no doubt. That's why I don't watch that stuff, man. I don't watch. I stopped watching. I stopped watching the 4-letter and 3-letter networks because they were just out there rehashing stuff, and even though Dak Prescott didn't have a good day today, when the narrative was all Dak does is throw picks. I'm like, well, no, actually he averages about 8.5 picks a season, which is like tied for like the 4th best in the league or whatever. It's just that he don't do well in the playoffs. But you see a guy like Jalen Hurts throws 15, 16 interceptions and has 5 fumbles and is barely mentioned because you got certain ones that you like to pick on and certain ones you give passes to. And I don't like that. If a guy plays like trash, say he plays like trash. Don't just say he plays like trash because you don't like the Cowboys and give another guy a pass because you kind of like him. You like his team. That's why I can't roll with that. That's why I don't do the 4-letter and the 3-letter networks. But I do know Stephen A is gonna barbecue us tomorrow, and yeah, it's gonna happen. Bobby Slowick, that's his name. I couldn't think of his name. Bobby Slowick. I do know he used to be with Pro Football Focus because they always talk about him. I watch Pro Football Focus too. I watch a lot of football content, people. That's kind of like what I do when I'm not working. That's what I do. I watch a lot of football content. I watch, it's like 6 or 7 content creators. I watch their stuff. I watch, there's a couple of analysis stuff. That's what I do. I watch a lot of that stuff. I consume a lot of football content. So I watch a lot of Steve and Sam on that PFF podcast and whatever when they do the little pick'em show, because that's kind of what me and my cousin do. We're kind of like a small version of the low budget version of that. That's what we do. But but they always talk about pro football, PFF Bobby. That's what they call him. But I would like to get him to Dallas, man, and just let that guy, because he's off the Kyle Shanahan tree as well. So Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Mike LaFleur, all those dudes are off the same. They're off the same tree. They run variations of that same, if you want to call it, West Coast offense and stuff like that. So yeah, Bobby Slowick, that's his name. I couldn't think of his name. Appreciate that. Forgive someone. Okay, I couldn't read. I can't read sometimes. And long time Niner fan. Okay. Thank y'all for y'all's comments. I like this, being able to interact with you guys. It seems like only when we lose I get all this kind of interaction, this kind of engagement. I don't get this kind of engagement on routine games. It's only when we lose. When we lose and I come on and everybody wants to talk, and I know everybody want to vent. I want to vent too. You guys are really helping me because like the season is over, man. I mean, what do? Season's over. You kind of thought like, well, at least we'll get another week or so out of it, and whatever and stuff. And season's over, man. What are you gonna do now? Because I'm probably gonna do a couple more videos, and that'll probably be it. And when they make moves, if they make a coaching change, I'll come on and talk about that and talk about what I think. And if they do, because I think Dan Quinn was already gone. I think he was already picking out houses in Seattle when he's supposed to be making defensive call signals. I think he was looking at beachfront property in Seattle. I think that's what he was looking at, brochures, when he's supposed to be calling plays. That's what I think he was doing. So, yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, exactly. Is a distraction, Uncle. But yeah, he is. He is. We could trade Dak, but here's the thing: what you gonna trade him for? I'm not opposed to trading him, but I'm not gonna trade him for Justin Fields. I'm not trading him for Geno Smith. I'm not trading him for Davis Mills. I mean, who you trading him for? If I'm trading Dak Prescott, I would like to hope I would get somebody that can do at least as well as he does, because I don't want to go 5-13, 4-13, or 5-12 in the season, in regular seasons, just to get him out of there and just to get somebody else in there. I think, like I said, that's always the easy thing to do. Micah is overrated. As much as I want to disagree with that, South Texas, I mean, I'm not going to say overrated, but maybe he's not as good as maybe he thinks he is. And I think that maybe he sold Dan Quinn and the defensive coaching staff some wolf cookies that say, "Oh, we can just put you in pass on the D line and use you ultimately as a pass rusher." And see, teams have gotten smart South Texas. Teams have gotten smart, and I'm gonna tell you what they do. When they see Micah on the line of scrimmage, you know what they do? They run the football. They run it at him or run it away from him because he is a liability on running plays because he's 240 pounds. If I'm a left tackle, a left guard, a right tackle, a right guard, you know I'm at least 3 builds. So I got you by 60 pounds. You're a liability on a running play. You just get caught up in the sauce and you're just spinning around. And it's an 8, 9, 10-yard game. Okay. So if I see you about to rush the pass, I'm checking to a run, except if it's like 3rd and 12 or something. You know, if it's 2nd and 10 or something like that, and I see you on the line of scrimmage trying to rush, I'm checking to a run because he's a liability on the run, on a running play. What they should have done was had him in his normal middle linebacker spot. I've been campaigning for that, and he could rush the passer from there, where he could surprise the offensive line where they think he's not coming, and he's coming. The element of surprise is always better than when they see you coming. That's just me, you know. And I think teams have figured out ways to counterbalance him lining up on the defensive line, coming as primarily a pass rusher. Teams have figured out a counter to that, and we have not countered the counter. That's just what I think. You know, offensive scheme took him out of his game. Took who out of the game? Took Dak out the game. Took CD out the game. I think everybody was out of sync early in the game, and I think Mike McCarthy got scared, and then he started running the ball on 1st and 2nd down, even against heavy defensive line fronts, because he got nervous. Who played like Michael played like trash? Yeah. Ferguson played good. Yeah. I love Ferguson, man. I love me some Jake Ferguson, man. I don't think he gets the ball enough. I'm gonna tell you that's another problem in our offensive scheme. This is just an Uncle Fredism. Okay, it ain't nothing for y'all to take into account or nothing. That's just me. You know, it's just like, you know, every one of y'all in the chat here got an opinion. I think Jake Ferguson should get more targets, and I think Brandon Cooks should have got more targets. Okay, I think they don't use Brandon Cooks in enough advantageous opportunities for the skill set that he possesses. I think he had one deep one, and that Dak kind of overthrew him. I think they don't do it enough for Dak to get a feel for his speed. Because I think, you know, I read somewhere he still has 4.3 speed. So I'm like, why are we not running him on a lot of because if nothing else, run him on some deep 9 routes and run a lot of under stuff underneath him. So he'd run the safeties and stuff off. But they never use him for that. Only thing I see them using Brandon Cooks for is those 5-yard passes on 3rd and 5 and where he gets creamed. And the dude is like 5'10" and 185. And I'm like, dude, he's not built for that kind of route. He's built for you don't use small dudes for that. You don't see them using Tyreek Hill for that. You know, they use him to get down the field and stuff like that, you know. I just think he's been misused in our offense. And I think he is a good complement to CD because his speed can get CD a lot of underneath catches because you got to account for his speed, you know, but we don't do it enough. I think Brandon Cook got about like 60-something targets and had like 50, 55 catches or something like that, whereas CD had like 180 targets. So he got 3 times as many targets. You know, I know CD's our star, but the number 2 receiver don't usually be that big of a disparity between 1 and 2. Go look at some other number 1 and number 2 receivers. Go look at A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Look at Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. You know, look at George Pickens and Deontay Johnson. Look at, there's not that big a disparity. And I think there's something to that, and that's making it, because the way I think that's a problem, when you get into a game, especially when in the playoffs, when people prepare in their game plan for who they think is, okay, they're going to go to CeeDee Lamb, you got to have a plan B. And when you haven't gone to a plan B, then you don't have enough reps to, be you know, that's why when you see Brandon Cooks running deep on a deep one and Dak overthrows him, yeah, because you ain't threw it enough. He missed one against Buffalo just like that. I think the wind got, but you don't throw enough of them to him to where you can get a gauge on how to, because he's faster than everybody else that you throw to. So you got to kind of get a gauge for how to throw to him. And I don't think we did. Yeah, Ferguson is my. I love me some Jake Ferguson, man. That's the dude right there. That's the dude. Yeah, Kurtz didn't play well today, man. Nobody on the defense played well today because I don't know if it was Curse. We got 74 folks in there. I'm hoping all of y'all hitting the like button. All of y'all that's in my chat, they're watching the film. Please hit the like button, please. Please, 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 and pretty please, and thank you. And again, thank y'all for watching my video. I'm trying to get my numbers and stuff up, so I'm looking for as much participation and engagement as I can get. I don't know if I ever had 74 people on at the same time, man. 48-16. Yeah, it was 48-16 at one point. CD seemed off, South Texas. Something wasn't right. Did y'all not see in the first half that Mike McCarthy went over and talked to him? He's sitting down. He's almost like he said, "But buddy, are you with me? Where are you? Where are you?" I saw that. Something was there. I don't know what that was. They mentioned it on the telecast. Something was going on there. I don't know what it is, but uh, you nailed it. Jerry's big mouth overloads his teeth. What you trying to say, South Texas? Jerry writes checks that the Cowboys can't cash? Is that what you're trying to say? He writes checks they can't cash? Yeah, I think there's something to that. Josh Allen and Dallas will be fun. Yeah, if you about to ask Lori about that, you need to talk to Lori about that. I'm pretty sure she ain't trying to let go on Josh Allen. But yeah, that would be fun, Yeah. They scored on 5 of their first 6 drives. Yeah, they did. I mean, I was like, okay, we'll get a stop. I said, because I was hoping South Texas that while the offense was kind of while they was trying to pull their head out of their AWS, that the defense at least get a couple of stops and we can kind of like figure some stuff out and we can get a drive together. But shoot, before you know it, it's 20-0. It's like, okay, that's yeah, So they scored and kept scoring and kept scoring. None of that matters, bro. We know what it is. Dak is food. Teams fear playing. No team fears playing him. I don't know about that. They game plan for him because look, it's like this. Dak's been playing 8 years. Once you've played a certain amount of time in the league, teams get a book on you on what you do, good night. I got 95 people in here. They got a book on you. In other words, they know exactly what you do best, what you don't do well, what you eat for breakfast, where you ate lunch at, what your browsing history looks like. They know all that stuff. So, and you've got to counterbalance what a team is scheming for you, is what I'm saying. And like I say, it's easy. Dak got to play better. And there's certain throws that he can't make, but it seems like Dak always seems to throw those when the game is sort of getting out of hand. It doesn't seem that when the game's kind of in the balance that happens. Although that first one he threw trying to get Cooks, I attest that. I think Cooks was interfered with on that play. I still attest that, but I guess that's going to go on deaf ears. Try to be a San Diego Chargers fan. At least you have a team. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But the Spanos I think the Spanos is still on that team. I think they took the money, man. They took the money and ran. I hate that, man, for you guys. Because I've been to San Diego a couple of times. That's a beautiful city, man. That's a beautiful city. I can't blame your fan base for making fun of my Eagles. Hey, man, the Eagles fans make fun of us too, man. It's a reciprocal thing, man. Thanks for watching the video, Dave, the Eagle champ. Yeah, y'all make fun of us. We make fun of y'all. It's a reciprocal thing. Because we're NFC East rivals. That's all fun and games, whatever. Good luck tomorrow night. Y'all playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. What's the deal with A.J. Brown? If I could ask. What the heck's going on with him? That's a weird thing going on right there. You hit the like. Appreciate that, my man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Long-time Niner fan. Even though you're a Niner fan, you got to play them same Green Bay Packers, man. They're going to be a handful, but I know y'all defense going to play them a little better than that. Y'all not going to be playing a soft zone like we played. I'm sure y'all will get the win. Coaches got to go. Yeah. Well, at least Quinn, and I know Mike McCarthy is going to go because, Jerry, look, if we'd have lost 35-33, Jerry wouldn't have thought about firing Mike McCarthy. He'd been like, man, I wish we'd have won, but wasn't that game fun? Like, I remember the game when we played, y'all may not remember this, as a game back in 2013. I think we played the Denver Broncos, and I think it was 51-48, and we were trying to go ahead, and Tony threw an interception to Danny Trevathan, and the Broncos kicked the field goal. I mean, it was in field goal range when he picked it off, and they just, ran a couple of plays and kicked the field goal and won at 51-48. And I remember Jerry saying something after the game, man, wasn't that fun? Wasn't that fun? I'm like, no, it wasn't fun. We lost. We lost. So I said all that to say this. Had we lost 35-33, 35-30, 35-31 or something like that, Jerry would be like, yeah, well, we made some good money. It was an exciting ball game. It was all that, but we got embarrassed. Okay. All right. Jerry don't like to be embarrassed. See, so that's why Mike's got to go. He's going to go because Jerry got embarrassed. Did you see him throw whatever that was in his hand when I think it was when Dontelvia and Wicks hit that touchdown on Stephon Gilmore, and I saw him throw his whatever he had. It was I don't know if it was something in his mouth or something in his hand. I saw him throw it down, and I said, "Yeah, Jerry's mad because he don't like to be embarrassed, because he got people up in that press box. He's entertaining. He's entertaining now. So when you start messing up his entertainment value, yeah, you can't mess up his entertainment value. You can't mess up his money. I still go back to 2020 when y'all know in 2020 we was god awful on defense when we had Mike Nolan calling our defense, and we was giving up like 200 yards on everybody that played us, was getting 200 yards rushing. We had the worst defense in the league, right? Jerry never said a daggum thing, right? Until we end up being 3-8, and the NFL decided to flex us off of a Sunday night game and put us at 12 o'clock, and then he went ballistic. That's why I started like looking at Jerry sideways. Like, oh, you ain't mad because we got the worst defense in the league. You mad because they flexed us off of the Sunday night game. You're not gonna get that money that you was gonna be getting. That's why when we talk about where our problems lie, I don't stop at the players. I go up a ladder a couple of rungs to Jerry because yeah, you want to make sure your team is profitable and you in advantageous marketing opportunities and stuff like that. But I'm more mad when my team's not playing well than I am, because I'm trying to win. Because how do you think that sells when he's talking to guys like Robert Kraft, who's won all 6 of his Super Bowls since you won your last one? And, can you just say, well, I got more money than you. My franchise is worth more money than you. No, the goal of the thing is to win. So I don't know how you can be satisfied with just winning in the boardroom and in the, stock room or whatever and not winning on the football field. I just don't know how you be okay with that. Because if I had gone 30 years without winning, at least even getting to the NFC Championship game, I'm like, look, we got to change something. We got to change the whole way we're doing this because I can't go, but he's not going to change that. He's just going to change the characters, rinse and repeat. And until we stop doing that, we got to, it's going to be the same thing. Well, obviously, the thing is, we don't really suck. We just don't win the whole thing. Because I guarantee you a team like, I don't know, Carolina would love to be 12-5 3 years in a row. A team like Minnesota would probably love to be 12-5 3 years ago in a row. Chicago would love to be 12-5. New Orleans love to be 12-5. We don't suck. We just are not as good as we should be. Cowboys are not ass, Jamal. They're just not champs. Sorry, I gotta be honest. Our defense was not there, and in the head, and in their head, and you can see it by the motions and actions. I don't know. It's just I had a friend of mine that was texting me during the game, and he was apparently he's got like maybe a way. Maybe he was looking at because I know the all 22 ain't available yet, but he was sort of looking at it from a aerial view, and he was talking about like how even like guys like Jonathan Hankins was like getting pushed around out of the gaps and stuff. That's how they was making some of the, Aaron Jones ended up with like 118 yards rushing because they were stuffing him early, but late in the game, he was getting some 8, 9, 10-yard runs and stuff right up the B and C gap and whatever where Hankins is supposed to be at. And he said, I'm noticing he was getting pushed from one gap to the other. And that Jonathan Hankins like 340 pounds. But nobody on defense really played well today. And when the whole defense don't play well, you got to go with the coach. Our defense is not there yet. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one. Let's see where we got here. Max Jager, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for looking at the video. Packer fan here, just making my way through the tube, collecting cowgirl tears. Hey, man, you earned that today, man. I can't even be mad at you, man. Good luck going forward at Santa Clara next week, man. Good luck, man. Y'all outplayed us, man. Jordan Love, y'all got y'all a quarterback, man. Y'all got y'all a quarterback. He's good, man. He's good, and those receivers are just gonna get better. So yeah, they're gonna be there for a minute. They're gonna be there for a minute, man. I might not even be here when I'm 90, Jamal. Hey, I might not live that long, man. You trying to tell me I ain't gonna never see another Cowboy Super Bowl, man? Come on, man. Come on, man. Ferguson is only good because he is from Wisconsin. On Wisconsin, Max. On Wisconsin. I know they say that up there. Also, Biotis is from Wisconsin also. You claiming him? 49er fan here watching the game today. It looked like Dak and CD were not on the same page. No, they were not on the same page all day. But you know what that might be, Eric? I guess that's your Eric. I don't know if I'm seeing all of that. It looked like it may be more to your name than that. I don't want to mess your name up. I hate to mess up people's names. It may be that, the things and the looks you thought you was going to get, the looks you've been getting all season, maybe Barry, I think that's the defensive coordinator of the Packers, maybe he game planned for them and the stuff they thought they was going to have, he had those things covered and they didn't have a plan B. And so you look out of sync when you go to like, oh, dang, snap, that ain't open. I got to, bring the ball back and try to go with, So, it's easy for me to say they were out of sync, but it could have been that the dude might have had them game planned, and Mike McCarthy didn't have a counter. So that might be what it is, man. I don't know. Dak Prescott choked again. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah. Go G Pack. No. Okay. but only Dak choked though. I mean, and see that's the only thing that I always caution when folks say Dak choked, because when Dak plays bad, it seems like everybody plays bad at the same time. Now, if Dak had choked and the defense held them to 22 points, then you'd have something. But dude, the defense didn't get a sack. They never got a stop. So unless you was prepared to score 50 points today, you weren't going to win today. So you could say he choked, but did not the coaches choke too? Did not the defense choke too? Everybody choked. So it ain't just Dak choked. I thought he kind of redeemed himself late with some garbage stuff. He ended up with 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, but he did throw 2 picks. But it ain't just Dak. When Dak when games like this happen, it's like you can look at the 49ers game. Yeah, Dak choked. Yeah, but did you notice that the defense couldn't stop anybody? Yeah, Dak choked when he played Buffalo. Yeah, but they gave up 266 yards rushing. So the defensive line and the linebackers choked also. See, what people don't get, it's a team game. And if the quarterback has a couple of bad series, you can't just go and let the other team score and it's okay, because it don't work like that. It's a team game, So I'm sorry. That's why I don't look at it like that, because it's just like for instance, the Seattle game, we never punted. And the reason we didn't punt and we still had to win the game by 6 points because the other team didn't punt. So Dak had to play an almost perfect game because the defense couldn't get a stop. So you shouldn't make your quarterback have to play a perfect game every night out, because that's not right for them to have to do that. Okay, I was watching the game tonight against the Lions and the Rams. And, that was a good, entertaining game. But you know what? When the Lions needed a stop late to keep the Rams from scoring late, the defense rose up and made a stop when they needed to and allowed the Lions to get the ball back and hold and run the clock out. See, that's complimentary. See, that's why that thing is like that. So that's why I don't just run with the low-hanging fruit. Oh, Dak choked again. Yeah, Dak didn't play well, but the defense didn't play well. Play calling didn't play well. Dan Quinn didn't call no good game. Michael didn't play well. So everybody choked. The organization choked. The whole organization should have been like this in the middle of AT&T Stadium. But, Dak's the quarterback. And, of course, the quarterback has to take all the arrows because you make the most money. So I get that too, and he knows he's gonna get all of that. He knows he's getting that. Why are we so upset? Oh, Cowboy for the last 28 years. We kind of got to eat that. And so so this is the thing we're gonna have as a Cowboy fan. We're gonna have to eat what they say on these 4-letter networks. We got to eat that. And so when the Cowboys are 10-3 next year, my thing is, and I know a lot of other people said, no, I'm gonna still be optimistic. I'm gonna still like, yeah, we doing. I'm hoping, and I'm gonna put out there that look, we just need to adopt a wait and see. Let's just see. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy we 10-3, but I need to see what we do when that calendar flip around to January. I need to see what we do there, because it's a whole different mentality when the playoffs start than the regular season. It's just different. And we have not, as a team, it isn't just Dak Prescott, because it happened to Tony Romo too. As a team, we have not raised our mental toughness level when the playoffs start. We have not done that on no level, at no area of the team. We have not done that. And we have not done that for 28 years. And it's a funny thing, that 28 years kind of goes back to like what, when they fired Jimmy Johnson? Somewhere in there? Yeah. Yes, that would be about right. That would be about right. We kind of choke in the playoffs. We do. We got to eat that. We wasted a good playoff spot. That was what I said in my Foos Rodar. I hope I'm saying your name right. Yeah, that's what I was saying in my title page. We did all that work to get that number 2 spot and act like we, didn't deserve to have it. Man, we'll just let the Eagles have the division if we was gonna do that, And I don't want the Eagles having nothing. Okay. All right. Niners got more weapons, one more guy that look for CD. Well, CD was doing this thing, but that goes back to what I was saying. You got to give your other wide receivers more looks, because if you just got one guy, if a defense pays attention, They can take one guy away, and then you gotta like I said, that's why I'm saying they've never given Brandon Cooks and that goes back to something I've been saying. The Cowboys we kind of got a cult mentality when it comes to acquiring talent. We really don't like outside guys. And a couple of content creators have brought that out, and I wasn't even paying attention to that until I started seeing some signs. You notice we never go out and get a free agent from another team that can help us. We never hardly do that. We're like, no, we like our guys. Or if we get an outside guy, be a guy that's like, yeah, you just play like a bit role or whatever. We don't go out and get guys. Off seasons, oh yeah, we're gonna get a couple of wide receivers, like when they let Amari Cooper go. Oh yeah, we're gonna get a couple of wide receivers, and they didn't get any because that would mean you had to go get a player that was groomed in another system. We don't like those guys. And our adherence to doing business like that is one of the reasons why, because other teams aren't doing that. They're like getting whatever they got to do to get their team to win. I saw the Rams a couple of years ago get all kind of outside players to supplement their team, from Matthew Stafford to Von Miller to Odell Beckham Jr. to Jalen Ramsey, to go get whatever to do with it, and they got a Super Bowl. And they back in the playoffs again, right? They, after a 5-12 or 6-11 season, whatever they had last year, they back in the playoffs. And they could have won the game last night, right? But we just won't pull that trigger. We'll just we'll just draft guys, and that sort of thing. And I'm telling you, that's one of the things that's got to change, because other teams will do that. Whether it's Philly, it's Baltimore, Miami, wherever, they don't mind going and getting other players to supplement their team. If you need a guy, but we, every time we get our hopes up, yeah, Cowboys gonna go get such and such. You remember how we lost our minds when they got Gilmore and Cooks? But that was just a trade. They made out like fat cats. They traded a 5th round pick that they didn't even earn. That was a supplemental pick that they got from losing one of their free agents. And I think it was a 6th round pick another time when they lost a guy. So it wasn't even a pick that they earned. It was a pick that they was gifted because they lost a free agent that they turned into Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore. But for them to go out, because early in the season, I was like, why don't you go get Bobby Wagner? He didn't want but like $9 million, $8-9 million. Nah, they didn't go do it, even though he knows Dan Quinn's system, having played in it. And we needed linebackers. Can't do it. Okay? Can't do it. So late in the season, we go get Rashaan Evans for the practice squad, and then let him go before this playoff start. And then went with like one linebacker on the team, because you don't like bringing outside people into the fold. It's almost like we got a cult. All right? That's got to change, because other teams that are winning don't adhere to that. There's other ways to acquire talent other than just by drafting them. And it's like we don't know no other way other than drafting them. And then, because they're cheaper when you draft them, you go get a free agent, you might have to spend some money. But dude, there's money to be, there's money. We got money. Quit trying to save 2027. We're trying to win now. That's one of my gripes too. Oh, come on, Messi. It's gonna be all right, man. Sun's gonna rise tomorrow, man. It hurts though. It hurts because it's so final. You understand what I'm saying, Neil? It's so final. I said Messi. It's McCoy. I'm sorry, I can't read. It's kind of running together there. It's so final, man. It's so final. That's the problem. It's so final. And that's what I hate about it. And, some of in my videos, I talk about that, the season be over. It's like, the season's going on. It's like when you look for something to do on them Sunday evenings. Like when I come home from church, it's like, okay, I got games to watch and stuff. And ain't no games to watch. Same thing with the college season. I'm a college football guy too. And Saturday afternoons and whatever, and, ain't no games to watch, and so it's more so that, you just don't have football either. And my team's out of it. So I'm, and I really don't care about the other teams that are in it, So I might glance at some of these other, but the finality of it is what gets me. It makes me sad or whatever. You know. I don't know where you been, Gabe. We just got out. We just didn't play, and one team had an assignment, knew what the assignment was, and executed the assignment. The other team just showed up and didn't play. That's about all I can say. My team is the Chiefs. Hey man, about a month ago, I would have said y'all had no chance to get back to the Super Bowl. But hey man, that was a gutsy win y'all had yesterday. That freaking -29 frigid weather that y'all had, whatever. But they look pretty good. Y'all gonna have your hands full against the Bills next week, though. I promise you that. Yeah, they have crushed millions of souls today. Yeah, you're right, Neil. You're right. Um, I was hurt, man. But you know what? But I'm gonna tell you something, man. When I was at church today, people was looking at me and like, "You okay, friend?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good." I had a feeling, man, we weren't gonna play. I don't know why. You know, I just like, man, that's not. I sat down, and as the game unfolded, I could kind of see that. You can kind of see when a game is breaking the other way, and you can kind of see it's sort of like a snowball, and it's sort of getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and sort of like it's rolling down the hill. That's kind of how it was today for me. I was like, yeah. And then sort of like I kind of had a premonition. I said, man, why am I feeling like this? My boys not gonna win it. That's no, they're gonna beat Green Bay, right? And it all went downhill when they lost the coin toss, and then never regained from that. Happens. Yeah, it happens every year. Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does. About business beating a few bad teams and them cocky and arrogant once again. I mean, I don't know about him being cocky. I mean, I think you start winning games. I mean, everybody's a little, you ever watch a game and guys, signal first down or they make a big play or something. Everybody's cocky. It's a cocky game. Nobody scores a touchdown and bows to their, whatever. Everybody's cocky, man. It takes machismo to play the game. You start playing well, it's fine. Beat up on bad teams. But here's the thing. That's the conundrum that people don't look at. Oh, y'all beat up on bad teams. But yeah, but other teams lost to those bad teams. Right? The Commanders beat some teams that were, maybe even better than us. But they lost. They beat them. So the Patriots, didn't they beat some couple of playoff teams? They didn't beat us. So I mean, everybody don't beat all the bad teams. Didn't the Eagles lose to the Jets? Didn't they lose to the Cardinals? Didn't they lose to the Giants? Okay, that's all I'm saying. Everybody don't beat all the bad teams. You know. We beat you scrubs too. Okay, we scrub. We 12-5. We're scrubs. Don't know who your team is. Who are you? Who are you with? Gabe is Chiefs. Yeah. Okay. Still made the playoffs. Yeah, well, everybody made the playoffs, Gabe. You going back and forth with somebody in the chat. Okay. Hey, I might need to stop that stuff, man. Jerry Jones and new Al Davis. Yeah. I'm surprised y'all still remember Al Davis. Dak does know how to read defenses. It's just that there's certain defenses that he's not good at. And, you never seen Dak come off a guy, look a guy off, and come back. Yeah, that's reading defense. He's actually can do that. He just didn't do that. He made like two bad. Well, no, I'm not gonna say two bad throws because he really could have had about 8 interceptions today. But every quarterback has a turnover-worthy play or two aside from the ones that they throw. But yeah, the one that I think Devondre Campbell, right before they scored the touchdown before halftime, that he threw it and the guy just dropped it in the end zone, and the one he tried to throw before he was about to get sacked, he flipped it, and it could have got picked. So he threw a couple that, but I seen Patrick Mahomes throw a lot of them like that, and I know he's not Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying quarterbacks do that. Nobody would love to be and then get embarrassed as do in the playoffs. Well, we don't get embarrassed every year in the playoffs. Last year's game was 19-12? I didn't embarrass, you just lost. And the year before that, wasn't it 23-17? That ain't embarrassed, you just lost. You don't think, okay, you don't think the Bears would like to go 12-5? Robinson, you don't think the Bears want to be 12-5? You don't think Carolina would love to be 12-5? You don't think the New England Patriots would love to be 12-5? You don't think New Orleans Saints would love to be 12-5? You don't think Tampa Bay would love to be 12-5? I'm just asking. You don't think the Jets would like to have been 12-5? Only 7 teams from each conference make the playoffs, and 12-5 is like what, the second best record in the league this year. Just didn't do it in the playoffs. Only one team wins the playoffs, right? So, but if you feel like, as a Cowboy fan, you feel like we hit 12-5 every year. One of the year we got cashed one of them in, so that's why you're pissed. But at the end of the day, only one team ends the season with a W. Everybody else goes home with a consolation prize. Okay, so yeah, you weren't one of the last ones that was standing, but the 13 of the other 14 teams aren't going home with the prize either. We just happen to be one of them. When we get beat in all 3 phases, sorry, Big Mike. Mike's probably gonna. Yeah, he's probably gonna lose his job. I would have never thought before the game that Mike McCarthy would lose his job, because I felt like I felt like he coached a good season this year with new players taking over the play calling. Losing Kellen Moore, because he hadn't called plays in, like, I don't know, half a decade maybe. And there was some hiccups early, and I thought that the offense was good later in the season. And I would have never thought before this game that there was a chance Mike McCarthy would lose his job. But I would be surprised, utterly surprised. Now, I read an article right before I came on tonight, and all the players were, said, man, if they get rid of him, then man, we'll get rid of us too. We love him. Like, okay, well, y'all didn't play like y'all love that dude. If I had a coach I love, man, I'm running through a brick wall for him. That's just me. Go Chiefs. Yeah, I like the Chiefs too. I like Patty. You can't not like Patty. The entire young team of talented and cheap, skilled players. This only going to get worse for the league. Are you talking about Green Bay? I'm thinking that's what you're talking about, because it's not just the Green Bay Packers are going to be dangerous because I feel like Jordan Love just going to get better, and I think. And here's the thing: I think Mike LaFleur just needed a quarterback that he could kind of groom a little bit. I can kind of, like how Kyle Shanahan got a quarterback and Brock Purdy, he can kind of groom. It was going to be kind of hard to groom Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers kind of has his own way of doing things, and and I think Jordan Love is got a talent, make all the off-platform throws. He's got good arm strength. He's got good mobility. And I think in the offense that Mike LaFleur is running, I think he's learning. And then he's got a plethora of young receivers. Jaden Reed, I don't even think had a catch today. That's y'all's best receiver. So the rest of the NFC North better watch out, man. Detroit better enjoy this NFC crown, because I don't think they're gonna be holding it for long. That's just my football, looking through the crystal ball here. And then Quinn need to be shown the door. Belichick should be say he don't need full control. Jared play Bill, bring in discipline. Got a question for you, the lunatic. So how Bill Belichick gonna react when he's gonna like, hey, you need to do these radio shows, and Bill don't want to even do media sessions? How Bill gonna react when Jerry want to interrupt a practice session because Taylor Swift is in town and he wants her to come through and tour the facility and shake hands with all the players and take photo ops with the players and take up about 2 hours of the time and that sort of stuff in the middle of their practice? How do you think Belichick gonna react to that? Because those are the things that Jerry pushes. Okay. So when I try to educate Cowboy, these are the things that Cowboy that happens in Dallas. It's a reason why it don't matter how much talent we have, we always seem to come up short. And they always because the players are sorry, is because there's a mentality that goes there, and I think it's a lot of other loose fitting things that go with that. So if Bill Belichick don't get his full control, I just don't know if Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick because he's used to doing that. When the lights are the brightest. Back, we got to eat that. We got to handle that. They're never on the same page when the lights are brightest. Yep, that has got to be eaten. Can't decide that. I told everyone Green Bay is a Cowboy. They have been. Because they've beaten us 3 straight times in the playoff, 14, 16, and this year. And and then many people don't know, but they have met the most times of any 2 teams in the playoffs, going all the way back to 66 and 67. I don't know nothing about that because I was only a baby then, so I don't know nothing about that. I just read about it. I don't know nothing about that. Green Bay opening drive, 13 plays, 75-yard. Big Mike and Quinn never recovered. Yeah, they did. They never recovered, man. 13 plays, 75 yards. I think they lost when they lost the coin toss because I think we like being able to score first. But when we got the ball, we kind of didn't know what to do with it. So who's to say if we got the ball first, we didn't go 6 plays and punt? Because I think that's what we did on our first drive. I think we went 6 plays and punted. Yeah, that's what we did. We went, 6 plays and punt. Who knows who wouldn't have done that? Because CeeDee Lamb would have dropped the same pass if we got in the first possession as he would have if we got it on the second possession. So, whatever. Don't hire Belichick. No, I want a younger coach if they're going to go that route. I'm not going to say he won them all because of Tom Brady, but having Tom Brady sure didn't hurt. Sure didn't hurt. Because I would say to you, why did Tom Brady only win once when he was in Tampa Bay? That team was obviously better than any of the teams he had in New England talent-wise. Why did he only win one? Why did they fall to 9 and 8 the next year? Because the structure that Bruce Arians runs in Tampa didn't complement the skills that Tom Brady has. The culture of an organization matters a lot in why a team wins, and that's why I said we need a culture reset. Because Bill is all about the business. Everything's about preparation. Everything's about being ready, being in the details. Okay, so when Tom goes to New England, he wants to do the same thing, but Bruce is saying, we knock off at 5:00 and go shoot a round of golf. And then when they're in games, guys, having personal fouls and stuff like that, that don't happen in New England. So they needed each other. That's why, Tom only won one there, because even though they had better receivers than he ever had when he was in New England, defense was just as good as any of the defenses he had. There's guys on there, Vita Vade, Devontae David, Carlton Davis, Antoine Winfield, Devin White. There's a lot of dudes on those defenses, and then the offensive line. Those teams were just as good as any of the teams he had in New England, but the structure was not there. And like I said, sometimes the culture that's cultivated in an organization is very important to why a team wins. It didn't just, well, they had Tom Brady. Yeah, they won when they came to Tampa, but it was also a COVID year too, and nobody had fans. You know, and everybody, and that was kind of like a reset year. I often kind of like disregard whoever won in 2020. I just do. Because I kind of felt like that was a year where people was like, dude, I really want to play, with all, so I don't know. And then the next year they kind of slipped a little bit. Same team, because they kept everybody. And then the next year they slipped to 9-8 or 8-9 or whatever, with essentially the same team. That team, if they had Belichick, wouldn't have slipped like that with as much talent as they had. So they needed each other. That's just my opinion. Looked like they were arguing. Looked like who were arguing? Dak and CD or Mike McCarthy and CD? Because I saw CD and Mike McCarthy having a word. He was terrible early. He was making throws late. He wasn't terrible the whole game. Quarterbacks go through bad spells in games, but yeah, he was terrible early, and the pick six is what did us in. The pick six was the coup de grace. That's like the, pour, what on the fire. That pretty much did it. No sacks, one tackle for loss made Aaron. Yeah, man. Defense was bad too, man. He had been choking the last couple of years, OG. Plus, the Cowboys only beat bad teams. They got lucky with the not really. Not if you read the NFL's report. They actually should have never came down to being lucky if the refs get the rep. Everybody focuses on the missed or whatever. I think that Detroit was trying to pull a fast one. They missed a tripping call where they tried to say a guy said Hendershot tripped his own player. So basically, they almost, it would have been like a guy getting called for holding his own player if he fell into the line and grabbed his teammate to keep from falling and getting called for holding. That's what that's like. And that cost us a first down and actually led to us not getting a touchdown to put the game away. Matter if they don't make that call, they don't never have that last drive, is what I'm trying to say. Andy Schmidt, they didn't really get lucky. They got lucky, but Detroit was lucky first because the refs made a call that you just can't make. An experienced, a high school ref can't make a call like that. He always gets the garbage. But what did you want him to do? To just kneel on the ball and just accept the 48-16 loss, or you want him to keep fighting? If your team was down 48-16, what do you want him to do? Just stop playing? That's all I'm saying. Nobody said that he played the belt well enough to win. They just said, hey, I'm not going to go out without a fight. I wouldn't go out without a fight. I'm fighting for every yard. So I don't know. I don't agree with that logic. That don't pass the logic test to me. All for what? We got beat down all for what? I can't get my thing now. All four phases. And yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We coaching. No, offense, defense, special teams. We missed the extra point, didn't we? Yeah. I think they did too. So that special team was a tie. Coaching definitely we got out coached. 3. No, it's 4. It's 4 because oh, you ain't called Jerry the mummy, did you? Man, that's low. That's cold blooded, man. That's cold blooded. He didn't have a little work done though. That's pretty obvious. Team looked shook. Yeah, they did look shook. Yeah, that's when a team don't look like they prepared. That's a coaching thing. And as much as I get on Jerry, look, I don't think Jerry was doing nothing in this week leading up to this game. I think Mike McCarthy had him too tight. and them sphincters was tight, man. Yeah, essentially. Didn't they beat the Eagles and the Seahawks and the Detroit Lions, and they beat them teams too? Just asking. Just asking. Yeah, this offseason gonna be long, man, because there's a lot of questions got to be answered, and uh, I don't know. I don't know. I think if Trey Lance was any good, he would have beat out Cooper Rush for number two. I think he can be good, but he's gonna need some work. Um, he's gonna need some work. No, he didn't. He made a lot of throws late, but he didn't. When the game was in balance, he was off. He can't throw the ball to himself. You know, concession food is cold. Who's he talking about here? Concession. So did you? Oh, you must have went to the game. It wasn't just Dak in the game, but he always on him. And hey, look, man, you're the quarterback, okay, and you're the quarterback of the Cowboys. So you're gonna get the blast. That's why, um, that's why I'm okay with Dak getting big money, because if you don't win the games, you're gonna get the blame. So if I'm gonna get slammed, at least I'm making good money. You ain't gonna pay me minimum wage and be running me through the coals. So, that's part of the thing. The quarterback gets all the blame, got to stand and answer all the questions. Michael Parsons, I don't remember him. He probably went on home. Dak has to answer all the questions, and he didn't play well either. Um, whatever. So, look, man, look, Dak was a second team All Pro, man. You know how hard it is to be an All Pro? I'm just saying. There's only two in the entire league. So, you know. You act like he's like a bad player or something. You know how hard it is to be an All Pro. All Pro means you are one of the two players at your position in the entire league. So, and a Bama fan, what do you think about the coaching hire? I'm a Bama fan too, big time Bama fan. I'm as big a Bama fan as I'm a Cowboy fan, maybe even bigger. What do you think about the hire? I think we're an owner away, the lunatic. Ooh, how much more stuff? I ain't gonna be on much longer. I'm trying to read all these chats, man. Bills haven't won yet. I'm not gonna get on the Bills. I kind of like what they're doing right now. It wouldn't be a bad thing to see the Bills win. Okay. Got a question, Swing Down Studios. When you say to signs of being a competent, because I think he's more than a competent quarterback. He just don't. Sometimes it don't happen. But what I'm saying is that let me ask you a question. Is Joe Flacco a competent quarterback? Because he won a Super Bowl and he had one of the greatest runs I've seen back in 2012. What did he look like yesterday? Didn't he have two pick sixes? Sometimes quarterbacks have bad runs. Uh, a lot worse quarterbacks than Dak have won Super Bowls. Nobody's going to tell me that Brad Johnson is better than Dak Prescott. Nobody's going to tell me that what's the guy? Trent Dilfer is better than Dak Prescott. Nobody. You'd be hard pressed to tell me that Matthew Stafford is better than Dak Prescott. They put a team around him, though. Okay? They went and got players for him. They went and got, Von Miller, went and got Jalen Ramsey, went and got Von Miller, went and got OBJ, went and got all kind of players. They went and spent money. You know, you know, quarterback just quarterback is part of a team, and if the team is good enough around Dak, Dak's just not Patrick Mahomes. And if you want him to be Patrick Mahomes, you're gonna be sadly mistaken. But you don't have to be Patrick Mahomes to win a Super Bowl. Just saying. Quarterbacks less than Dak have won Super Bowls. The team was good enough around him. I would say that when Russell Wilson won his Super Bowl, he wasn't as good as Dak because he was a game manager. He hadn't thrown for 4,000 yards. He was throwing only on like third down. He handed the ball off to beast mode, but they won it with defense and a running game. He played Peyton Manning, who was an all-world quarterback. You gonna tell me he was better than Peyton Manning? No, but his team was better than Peyton Manning's. That's why they won. So it's not always the quarterback. What kind of team are you fielding? Just want to educate you a little bit there. Swag Down Studios. That's all. Played most of it. I don't know. I think, the lunatic, I think Quinn surprised himself. Like I said, man, I'm going to shut down the video because we've been on about an hour and almost an hour and minutes, the longest video I've ever did. I think he surprised. I'm thinking Dan Quinn was looking through Seattle home brochures during the game. That's what I think he was doing. No, I'm not going to watch that mess. Coach Prime, come on down. Pay Dak, please. Keep him in Dallas. They're going to pay him, but he just not going to get what he think he going to get. He just not going to get what he think he going to get. No, 12-5 don't get you a Super Bowl ring. But if you're the Chicago Bears, wouldn't you like to be 12-5? If you are, I don't know, the Minnesota Vikings, wouldn't you like to be 12-5? If you're the New Orleans Saints, wouldn't you like to be 12-5? Carolina Panthers, wouldn't you like to be 12-5? All I'm saying is there are worse things to be than 12-5. We're just mad because we can't get over the hump. Okay? If you're a rich person, but you're not the richest person, as that your life don't exactly suck. It's just not as good as that guy's. That's all. I wish we could get in the Super Bowl because I'm tired of 12-5. Here we go, Eagle. Y'all better win tomorrow night. I know that. Yeah, he might bring some discipline, but I don't know if he's gonna put up with the foolishness that the mummy, as my man tried to call him, puts up with. Better to go 98 in the regular season and win the Super Bowl. But yeah, but how many 9-8 goes to the Super Bowl though? The Crypt Keeper, because I ain't never seen a 9-8 team win the Super Bowl. Because basically you're a 500 team. I ain't never seen that. Now I've seen a 10-7 team get to the Super Bowl because the Cincinnati Bengals did it a couple of years ago, and they didn't make the playoffs this year. But it's what it is. Yeah, but you made the playoffs though. You still, okay, here's the thing. So you say you'd rather not make the playoffs and be 5-13 and be firing your coaches every other year, like Carolina, than go 12-5 and get a playoff game and win and get in the playoffs. Is that what you're saying? You rather? I get not it don't get you the Super Bowl, but only one team wins it anyway. So, for instance, what if San Francisco don't win it and they go 13-4 and didn't get to the Super Bowl? What did that get them? It's like there was 13-4 last year and it didn't get them in the Super Bowl. Only one team wins it. The other team, even though they got a good record, didn't win it. Like the Eagles last year. They went 13-4 and they went to the Super Bowl, but they don't give you trophies for almost getting the Super Bowl. You didn't win it. So what did that 13-4 get you? Oh, you got a round further than we did. Okay, fine. Great. Thanks for coming. But you didn't win anything. You went, and we'll see what they do this year. So everybody that goes to the playoffs, don't but one team win it. Everybody else go home. Everybody else's season is a waste. So that's all I'm saying. I don't think y'all are looking at that right. You 12-5 got you into the playoffs and won you a division. But if you win enough divisions, it's like, yeah, okay, I want to do something more. And I will listen to that argument. But just to say, oh, I'd rather not make the playoffs than go 12-5 every year, no, that's retarded. You'd want to go 12-5. You know? No, I don't want to make the playoffs. I want to go 5-13. I want to go 4-13. Come on, dude. Come on, man. You better than that. You can't. Your name Fletch too. That's my last name. You can't be Fletch and be thinking like that. 29-year drought. Vrabel. I wouldn't mind having Vrabel, the lunatic, because I think Vrabel brings a toughness to our team, and I think we need some toughness. And I think we need another defensive. I was hoping we get an offensive coach, but if we're gonna get a defense, I'm hoping he would kind of pull Micah to the side, like, hey man, and have like another vision for ways that we can. Because Micah's talented, but there's ways we can use him. I don't think it's been explored by Dan Quinn. Football ain't tradition no more. So who? They were 1 seed, yeah, and 12 both times, and then got to get into the Super Bowl. And 12. I can't read what that's supposed to say. The lunatic. They were 1 seed with FAR 12, and both times did not get into the Super Bowl. I don't know who that is. Ice Ice, baby. How many TVs got destroyed now this weekend? No, I ain't finna do that, Ice Ice. I ain't finna do that. I ain't tearing up my stuff on no team. I ain't gonna do that, but I'm sure somebody did. BB is trash. Don't know that. Casual, don't know that. Who, BB? Who's BB? Bill Belichick. No, I think Bill Belichick is Bass's problem, though. I really do. I want some younger blood in the thing for me, but I do like the discipline. But I think you get the same discipline with a Mike Vrabel. I would not be mad if they hired Mike Vrabel tomorrow. Can't think of an NFL player I would want an autograph from. Wow, really? Wow, okay. No, that's the thing, the Crypt Keeper. You can't fire Jerry. And I think that's a problem. I think that, because look, man, let me say something, Crypt Keeper. Every team um, owners have their people in the front office. They're just not the GM. They hire football people to do that. You don't make yourself the GM. You hire a GM. Okay, right? I guarantee you the Eagles got Lurie's all in their front office. They just not the GM. They got Howie Roseman for that. All right. I'm pretty sure the what's the guy? What's the team? What's the owners that own the Steelers? I guarantee you they got them all over the thing. But they got Shah Khan. I think that's his name. And it used to be Cosby. He used to be the GM. They hired a GM because that's what they do. Because a GM has to produce. Okay. Any other GM that has been 3 years and got to this point and not won and hired whatever would have been fired by now. But because you own the team, you can shift the blame somewhere else. And I think that's always going to be a problem, that the owner is the GM and can't be fired and can't be held accountable. That's always going to be a problem. Cowboys are not the Panthers. The Panthers are the worst team in the NFL, won like 2 games. They're 2-15. They're not the Panthers. If the Panthers woke up today and they were the Cowboys, boy, they'd be thinking they're lucky stars. Stop that, HG. Money, no guts. Yeah, I can't argue with that one. Yeah, everybody's going older. Joe Theismann for what? Head coach? What are you saying Joe Theismann for? What do you driving is off a cliff every year, that clockwork. Yeah. Three first-year head coaches, younger coaches fired this season. Guess only idiots don't know that. Three first-year coaches, head coaches, and younger coaches. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of first-year coaches, but a lot of the first-year coaches I thought did well though, Lunatic. Uh, I guess you're talking to one or the other, yeah, because I know D'Amico Ryans and Shane Steichen, they all did well. Shane Steichen might have could have went to the playoff. They were 9-8. They did pretty good. Um, they younger. I think younger is the thing. It cost them a shot at a repeat. You trying to tell me that they only got there because of Antonio Brown? You don't think Mike Evans and Chris Godwin is why they there and stuff like that? Antonio Brown is a headache, man. Trade Dak. Okay, MG, trade him for what? Draft picks? And draft who? You got a good enough offensive system where you can bring in a rookie in and he can not be Zach Wilson? Just saying. It's all easy to say. That's all. Yeah, just trade Dak. Yeah. Dak needs to go ASAP. Yeah, right. And Quinn don't need to go, and Mike McCarthy don't need to go, and Jerry don't need to go. Just Dak. Okay. CD, Dak and CD, it was in the huddle. They were arguing. Dak got garbage yards. Yeah, he got garbage yards, Fletch. But what was he supposed to do? Like hand it off the rest of the game? I mean, nobody thought they were going to win. You down 48 to 41-16. 48-16 at one point. You weren't winning that. Man, we'll just try to, I mean, so Fletch, let me ask you something. So if you were playing, you would just say, let's just take a knee rest of the game. Don't try to, because most time when I see teams at the end of the game, they still trying to play. They don't give up. But you saying they should have gave up. Okay. Dak to the Raiders. Okay. All right. Start Trey Lance. All right. I guess y'all think he can do better. Okay. All right. Okay. Mm. I don't know, G Rod. If it had it, G Rod, had it been just a regular loss, I would say no. But we got embarrassed, G. We got embarrassed. And I think that people say Dak got garbage out. I think that was an honest effort to make that game respectable to save Coach McCarthy's job. That's what I think that was. You can call it what you want to. And I think Dak loved him some Mike McCarthy. But I always said, if you love your coach, play for him. But I think he might get fired, G Rob. But I don't know. Packers fans ran over us like Seahawks did. Played as if played as if it was a preseason game. Yeah, the defense we played is like you played a preseason game. I don't understand what they were doing there. And today we did not show, and both times Big Mike gone. Yeah, he might be gone because 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, but you 1-3 in the playoffs, and you won one game last year. I'll give the Cowboys a pass last year from the offensive standpoint because you didn't have weapons. You only had CD. Remember, last year CD was just learning how to be a number one receiver. Your number two receiver was Noah Brown, and you're playing the San Francisco 49ers with like all pro corners. You're not beating them with Noah Brown. You're just not. It was amazing that we kept it within 7. We led in that game. You know that, right? We led in that game. I think it was like 7-3 or something like that. We led in that game. Them two, Victor. Okay. I think you're talking about the DeMarcus Lawrence jumping offside. Yeah, he got a little antsy, but usually they don't call that because the defensive guys can move. The offensive guy can't. Once you're in your stance, you can't move. Defensive guys are always moving around. But he should have been able to move, man. I don't know if I like that call, to be honest with you, but and I didn't necessarily know if I liked that call that Deron Bland got on that crossing route that on third down, because I thought Brandon Cooks got held on the pass that Dak got picked on. I thought he grabbed his shoulder. I saw it on the replay, but they didn't call it. So I'm like, my friend I was talking to, he said, well, I guess they letting them play. I said, okay, well, let us both play. Don't let them play and then call us tight. Let us both play. But those two penalties kept their drives going, yes. Got a 15-yard penalty. That 15-yard penalty on Sam Williams was garbage. He didn't touch that guy. That was garbage. And the play before that on the punt, the punter got bumped and got knocked down. So to me, them should have been both non-calls. That should have been called. But Sam Williams shouldn't have even been that close to him. But I think he might have got blocked into him, but he shouldn't have been that close to him anyway when the dude didn't call a fair catch. Sam Williams does that though. So, jumping into the punter instead of jumping at his punter's foot. Yeah, that's Sam Williams for you. That's Sam Williams for you. Poop Scott. You may say he had great. No, I'm not saying he did have great yardage, but all I'm saying is, what did you want him to do? To stop throwing the ball and just run it? Nobody says they had a chance to win it. Nobody says he had a great game, but he continued to play. And that's what I would want. I would want my players like, well, we down 14-16. We'll just pack it up and go home. No, you keep playing until the clock. There was a lot of time left. It wasn't even the fourth quarter, was it? What are you supposed to do? Hand the ball off? Yeah. He had benched. Great yardage. Packers had. I don't know. I don't know that they bench starters. I saw their starters still in the game. I don't know that they bench starters. You saw that? I didn't. I don't know. I don't know if I saw that. I still saw Campbell and I think I still saw Kenny Clark. I still saw them in the game. I don't know what the excuse is going to be, the Crypt Keeper. I'm out of excuses. We got to get it done. Not last 2021, yeah. Trey will get a chance. I don't know. I think they're gonna make Trey Young some trade asset or something or whatever. I don't know. I would like to see what the guy got though. To be perfectly honest. I'm not saying I don't. I don't know if you're talking to me, man, fan. You like the hire. Okay. You like the hire a lot. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about Kalen DeBeer. I think it's DeBeer. Other than he coached Washington, and he's 25-3. That's pretty good. I do know this, Bama fan. I like the offense that he's gonna bring. I didn't like Tommy Reese at all. I'm not a fan of Tommy Reese. I wasn't a fan of Bill O'Brien either. I liked Steve Sarkisian. I wish Steve Sarkisian would have stayed there. If he'd have got his hands on Bryce Young, no way we wouldn't have won the national championship. Coach never gets us ready. Yeah, coaches didn't get us ready. A big fan. Yeah, it seemed like a good fit. I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see. I think if he's a good coach and he's he got his X's and O's. I have heard that he kind of struggles with recruiting, but I think Nick is gonna hang around if he's not intimidated by Nick hanging around, it would be good if Nick would kind of like, show him around and give him some pointers and kind of stuff like that, and kind of, but not, just kind of like, because he's been in the SEC for the last 15 years, 20 years or whatever. And he's never been in the SEC. SEC is a different animal than the Pac-12. It's a different animal altogether. Wow. Bama, man. Been a Bama and Cowboys fan since '83. Been ups and downs on both teams, but these Cowboys been a huge letdown for me. Yeah, yeah, they really have. But here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you this, Bama fam. This is why I don't beat up Dak as much as other people do, because they said the same thing about Tony. Okay, Tony Choker, Tony Choke, Tony Oh no. I heard that. I used to defend Tony Romo too. And I always said, if you put Tony Romo in the right offense, if you don't have him throwing the ball 55 times, you can win with him. And when they finally got an offensive line and got some running game and an offensive scheme in 2014, when he had DeMarco Murray, which I thought was Romo's best year, and he really should have won the MVP that year, we would have won it had the refs had the balls and not taken that Dez caught it from us. He'd have probably won. We'd have probably won with him. Okay. But Tony got the same treatment. And I've always said, if the coaches come and go and you get the same thing, and the quarterbacks come and go and you get the same thing, and other players come and go and you get the same thing, in 29 years, who's the constant? Who's still the star of the show? That's where your problems lie. Because the players have come and gone, and we've had talent. So that's why I don't beat Dak up. If Dak, let me tell you something. If Dak is in New England, they would have won a Super Bowl in some of those years, because the system and the details would have been there in the training and the coaching. We don't do that here. That's just mine. Then cut me to troll. No, you can troll. You can troll. Cowboys are built to play with the lead. The Cowboys are kind of built, even though they're not the same quarterback, obviously. They're kind of built to play like the Indianapolis Colts used to be played. And that's kind of how dome teams are. We're a dome team, okay? We might not look at AT&T like a dome, but that's kind of what it is. Dome teams play the way they play fast, they play on grass, they play with a lead, they play with pass rush. That's how the Colts played. That's how the Atlanta Falcons used to play. That's how the Minnesota Vikings used to play back in the day. And that's how we play. We're built to play with a lead. If the other team gets a lead on us, it's hard for us to win, because we can't stop the run, and we're just built that way. And then we don't like linebackers either, for some reason. Linebacker, running back, and wide receiver. I don't know the wide receiver as a whole. I just think I don't think we utilize our wide receivers well. I would like to see Brandon Cooks get some more love. I've seen him on other teams. I've seen him get 75, 80, 90 catches on other teams, and for 1,000 yards and 1,200 and 1,300 yards. And he's not. We just don't target him enough here. And he's got great speed. We just don't use him right. But running back, oh yeah, Tony Pollard's gone. You're not paying him again. And linebacker, yeah, we need linebackers, because when teams decide they want to run, we got to be able to stop the run. We got to be able to stop the run, and we're just not. People are saying Parsons did nothing. He didn't do nothing in that game, G-Rod. I was saying earlier, man. I guess you heard the video earlier. Did he even play? Cowboys beat up shitty teams and lose to the good ones. They'll lose to every good team, or they wouldn't have been 12-5. They beat some good teams. They just didn't beat enough of them, to me. All the teams they beat weren't shitty, and then some of those shitty teams beat other teams. Because those shitty teams, and I don't like to curse on my stream, beat some teams that went to the playoffs. So, you know, just because you beat bad teams, it takes a mental toughness to beat bad teams because you kind of take them for granted. That's how upsets did not. Didn't San Francisco lose to like 3 games in a row at one point to Minnesota, to Cleveland, who wasn't a good team at the time, and to Cincinnati, who didn't make the playoffs? Yeah. So, sometimes bad teams win because the favorite team don't win every time. They just don't. I noticed during the game with Quinn, he was using very light personnel up front and wondering why they couldn't stop the run. I think Prescott interceptions put the final nail. The first one wasn't so bad. I think he was trying to hit Cooks on a slant that I think he got interfered with, but that's neither here nor there. The other one, I think he was trying to get Lamb back in the game because Lamb at that point Lamb still had not asserted himself. And I think Lamb is one of them guys. If you don't keep giving him the ball, you kind of lose him. And I think he was trying to feed him on that one, and I think they baited him into that throw, and it was a pick six. Lynch hasn't been fired. Who's Lynch? Fools go. Mike in Miami did good. Those were less than one-dimensional. They even practice. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't look like defensively. It didn't look like they did a whole lot because they looked like they just played a vanilla coverage and didn't do a whole lot. And to me, if I had young receivers, these were first and second year receivers, and I had experienced corners, even though Bland's only a second year guy, I think I would have been pressing them, making them, do some things and stuff like that, rather than just giving them free releases. I didn't like the game plan at all. I didn't like it at all. Harbaugh. Yeah, Jerry wants to do his thing. Like the one Jimmy Johnson wore on the sideline in the 90s. How about them Cowboys? Jimmy Johnson will forever be the great coaches or the GOAT coaches of the Cowboys like Bear and Saban for Bama. Yeah, very amen to that, Bama fan. Amen to that. Amen. Amen. Jacket, man. Oh yeah, the Apex jacket. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think I got one of those. I have one of those. Yeah, I got one of those too, guys. Yvonne, butt heads. Yeah, they're gonna butt heads. They would butt heads yesterday. But anybody that wants to get credit for the success is gonna butt heads with Jerry. I think Blanche would be a big mistake right now. I think he needs some seasoning. All right. And go back and start for some second division team. I agree. We need a real GM. Yes, we need a real GM. I'm sorry, some of these chats. There's so many chats in the thing. It was like hundreds of them, and I'm trying to get to all of them because I really appreciate all of you guys coming on my line. I'm just overwhelmed because I don't really get this much traffic. But I really appreciate you guys, even the people's coming to troll. Because just you coming and engaging with me, man. I really appreciate y'all. I really do. Dallas got a lot of decisions with players to pay or let go. Media saying CD's gonna want about $35 million, and there ain't no receiver getting $35 million. But he got to pay him though. But hey, man, if I'm him, I'm gonna pull up the tape of this game though while we're negotiating. Sam Williams ultimate penalty waiting to happen. Yeah, unfortunately, the lunatic. You're right. Sam Williams is. What's upsetting about that is Sam Williams is so freaking talented, man, but he just can't get and he had problems with these at Ole Miss too. Yep, he's just Yeah, that play did. Yeah, I didn't like a couple of those penalties, but that didn't cost us the game. I thought we got some penalties that that were kind of iffy that we received. I'm saying, like I thought that face mask penalty that Dak got. I thought that was sort of like, yeah, but he grabbed it, but it was after, and Tony Pollard ended up getting a nice horse collar tackle that I thought was from the side, which I don't know if they still call it or not. And I think we got a fair whistle. I thought them first couple ones were iffy, but for the most part, I thought we got a pretty fair whistle. Not all the time. Sometimes the refs trip on us now. Sometimes they do. That tripping call in Detroit. Some of the holding calls that Tyler Smith gets when Micah never gets a holding call. That stuff. Denver wants Russell gone. Would anyone take QB for QB trade? Just a question. Would they take that? I don't know, man. I'm not sure about Russell right now. I don't know. I mean, right now you might say I'm not sure about Dak either, but at least Dak made a Pro Bowl and an All Pro team. But I don't know something. I don't know. We gotta do something though. We gotta do something. Trey was never given a fair shot. He didn't play. No, he never did get a chance. He never did. Maybe some other picks. Yeah. 12, man. Who your guess to make it to the Super Bowl? Are you talking to me, G? I don't know, man. I guess it would be easy just to say San Francisco and Baltimore, but Baltimore, I don't know. Baltimore got to show to me that the style that they play can win playoff games because they really only won one. That's why when people are talking to me about, man, y'all keep coming up short, yeah, Baltimore comes up short too. They was number one seed a couple times, number one seed this year. If they don't win it this year, they'd be just like us, right? Went 13-4 and went 14-2 another year and didn't win the Super Bowl. So that's all I'm saying. It happens to all the teams. That's why as Cowboy fans, you can't get too enamored with that. But I ain't satisfied with being 12-5 because I think if you go 12-5 3 years in a row, a couple of them years you at least need to get in the NFC Championship game. You can't go out in the first round every 2 or 3 years. You just can't do it. Yeah, Trey Lance has started less than 30 games in his entire career. I thought that was a misprint when I saw that. Look, man. Look, Michael. I really don't like calling players bust when they haven't really proven that they can really play or not play. So easy with the bust stuff because that's kind of like I don't know. I just don't like calling a player a bust when he really hadn't had an opportunity to really because somebody might have said Jordan Love was a bust. All right, but he got an opportunity to play. He looked kind of shaky early, but look at him now. So you got sometimes you got to give some grace to some people. Jerry Jones is a clown. We won. We have 8 one and done in the playoffs since '96. Green Bay has 7. So it is hard to win, yes. But Green Bay has, just amplified the largest fan base. Yeah, it's just harder because we're the biggest fan base, and you can say we're the most toxic fan base. Although I try not to be toxic, I try to be level-headed and logical. I think level-headed and logical Cowboy fan is a oxymoron, but whatever. I try to be level-headed. He might not be the answer on that team, but I don't know. I don't know that the Cowboys are a laughing stock of the NFL. You don't think the Carolina Panthers are a laughing stock of the NFL? Got a 2-15 record and can't even cash in a first round pick? That's kind of funny to me. Everybody looked like the more physical team from start to finish. Yeah. Dak is Romo 2.0, and you'll never get a sniff of Super Bowl with Dak. But here's the thing: if all those quarterbacks are the same thing, isn't it the organization though? How can 2 quarterbacks end up being essentially doing the exact same thing? That's why sometimes you got to dig further than just grab just players, because sometimes you can take one player and he has a good situation and he flourishes. You can put him in another situation where he's got a whole bunch of other stuff and whatnot. Or you take Jared Goff. What did he look like when Jeff Fisher was his coach? How did he look? Then he gets fired, and they bring in Sean McVay, and what does he look like? They go to the Super Bowl in a couple of years. So that's all I'm saying. Sometimes it's more than you can just say the player. It's easy to say the player sucks. If first year Jared Goff's in the league, somebody would just say Jared Goff's a bust. He sucks. He's not it. But you get a good coach with a good scheme, put some good players around him, finds himself in the Super Bowl. So that's why I'm saying you can't really go by that. That's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, if we had Stroud. Stroud is that dude, man. Love me some Stroud. Remember Jerry Jones was talking about Stroud, but you gotta let a guy coach him though. You can't be around trying to crack blocked all game and nobody else showed up. Dak has the best QB stats the last 6 years. 403 yards don't mean nothing to me, man. Yeah, garbage. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not trying to make them stats like he had a great game. I'm just saying when I talk about, I'm not going to disparage his stats that day today because what did you want him to do? To not throw the ball and just give up and just accept the 48-16 loss, or did you want him to continue to try to fight? And I would always want my players to continue to fight. So you say he's a stat pattern, but let me ask you a question. Where do you think you would have been this year for the quarterback that wasn't Dak Prescott? Where do you think you would have been? You think you'd have been 12-5? Where do you think you'd have been? My thing is that you go into the draft, you're getting a young quarterback. You think you got the coaching staff to groom a young quarterback? We got somebody on our staff that's good as Mike LaFleur with a young quarterback? What do you think what young quarterbacks do? Young quarterbacks turn the football over. Young quarterbacks make mistakes. Young quarterbacks turn the ball over and can't read defenses and stuff like that. What do you think the Jets think about a young quarterback? Wasn't Zach Taylor a can't miss? Just because you get a young quarterback don't mean he's better than Dak. So, I mean, you drafted one, but I guarantee you a 4-13 or 5-12 a couple of years. And if you okay with being 5-12, I'm not. But that's just me. All right. Let's see, beating the 2 seed. That was nice stadium. share, sub it up. Yeah, please do that. Please do that. Bottom line, this team beats themselves. Bad play. Yeah, they do beat themselves some, but that's a coaching thing too. That's Super Bowl since '68. The Jets have been. That do suck for them. Put in all together when it counts. Nope, we don't. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Bama, I just found you, and gave you a sub and a thumbs up. Roll Tide, roll. Let's get yes, sir. Appreciate that, Bama fan. I really do appreciate that, man. I'm just a regular dude, just trying to, and I get a lot of therapy, man, in these sessions when I talk to you guys, man. So even the guys that's trolling me, I really enjoy this, man. I'm enjoying the heck out of this. What's my 20? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I remember the days when Starbucks was. Hold up, Perry Stevenson. How old are you, man? I remember Starbucks. Wait just a freaking daggum minute, Perry. How old are you, man? You remember Starbucks? Oh no! Oh my gosh! Starbucks and Ed Too Tall Jones and Harvey Martin. Uh, what's the Ron? What's the Ron? Not Ron. God, I can't remember the fullback's name. He's in front of Tony Dorsett and Jay Saldi, Billy Joe Dupree, Tom Rafferty. Man, I go way back, man. And nobody else went back like that with me. Yeah, you start from scratch, new coaches. It may take years, but it'll be better. Yeah, probably. 8-man sports car. It might be time to dump my present. Oh, you got a Dak Prescott card. Rams had Ravens beat. Yeah, G-Rod, they did. The Rams did have the Ravens beat. Yeah, they did. They did. They gave up a 3rd and 18 touchdown that they corner made a bad play on. I remember that. I remember that, G-Rod. I remember that. Yep. Yep. Yeah. You need to rush cool and stuff, man. Damn, Cowboy was embarrassing. Yeah, Captain Miles was embarrassing. Uncle Fred, what's your favorite Cowboys offensive and defensive players of all time? Mine is 22 and the Manster. It's a tie. Offensive players would be Emmett and Michael. I like Michael because I think Michael was like when he decided, when he was like just gonna when he was in that beast mode, you couldn't cover him. And how you not like Emmett? 22 to the house, man. Defensively, um, yeah, Manster. Um, Yeah, that's probably my favorite. Yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. He's probably my favorite too. But yeah, you go back a minute too, man. You go back a minute too. The lunatic. He's a great QB player. Now me third QB. Yeah, man. Green Bay Packers in good shape, man. It's unheard of, man. That ain't supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen. You get like 20 years or whatever of Drew of 18, 20 or whatever of Brett Favre, and you get 15, 16 years of 18 years or however many of Aaron Rodgers, and then have this guy, man. That ain't fair. That ain't supposed to happen, man. It ain't supposed to happen. It ain't supposed to happen. It should have started Danny White. Hey man, Danny White's underrated, man. Danny White did get us a 3 straight NFC Championship games, and what people don't know about Danny White is 2 of them 3 NFC Championship games we would have won had we not. Look, when Danny White walked off the field, well, not walked off the field, but he had just gave us a 27-21 lead when they had the 49ers in 1981, and we let the Montana go on a 90-yard drive. And then in 1981, we let Wilbert Montgomery rush for 191 yards. That made Danny White don't play defense. Okay. So, like I said, when people criticize Dak and stuff, when other teams don't play, remember one of that Rams game when Dak threw for like 275 yards and 2 touchdowns, no picks, but the defense gave up almost 300 yards rushing? That's what I be talking about. And that's why I don't hold Danny White responsible for those couple of games. Now, when he lost to the Redskins, yeah, that one was all him. He got beat up on that one. But the Eagles one and 80, I think it was 80. Was it 80? 81. 80. It was 80. 80. I'm sorry, 80. Wilbert Montgomery ran all over our Cowboys defense. And then in 82, in that strike shortened season, he got beat up. I think he got replaced in that game by Gary Hogaboom, if I'm not mistaken. He got sacked and got knocked out that game. And then in 81, like I said, Tony Dorsett, he led him on a drive. Tony Dorsett scored with 4 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the game. And the 49ers needed a touchdown. And they were 90 yards away, and we gave up a 90-yard touchdown. So that wasn't Danny White's fault. Defense was soft today. What's it going to be the boys' year for real? I don't know, man. I don't know. I do not know. Don't know. Defense will chips. Will they? They undersized, man. They undersized. They like that undersized, and I think that hurt us in this game. I saw a play down in the goal line when one of the Aaron Jones's, I think, 4 touchdowns. It's one of his when Marquise Bell was trying to fill on the running play. 205 pounds, man. He got pushed aside like a bug on a windshield. That's just a bad, I don't look, man. You could do a lot worse than Dak. I just think that, dang, you got to play. The other parts of the team got to play better. Like I said, if Dak had some problems early, I've seen like, okay, I'll give you an example. Me and my son was watching the game earlier the year. My son likes the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. They were watching the game. Actually, it was when they played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was earlier this year. And I think the Eagles was up like 7-0 or 10-0 or something like that. Okay. And they were driving. The Eagles were driving, right? And Jalen Hurts threw a pick. Okay. He got fooled on a pick. And, uh, and so it was in like, near midfield and a couple of first downs, they can be in field goal range. But what did the defense do? The defense came and 2 plays later, sacked Baker Mayfield and got a fumble and got the ball back for him. And they went down and scored. So when a quarterback don't play well, that don't give the other parts of the team license to not play well either. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Later in the game, he threw another pick when he was trying to throw it deep when it was like a punt. And the cornerback should have really let it should have like tipped it up and caught it in the end zone so it came out to the 20, but he caught it at the 1 yard line and caught a pick. What did the Eagles do? The very next play, they tried a running play. The Buccaneers tried a running play, and they tackled the running back in the end zone, got a safety, kicked the ball off on a free kick back to the Eagles, and they went down and got a touchdown. My point is this. If Dak played badly for a quarter or two, that don't give the defense the problems. That don't give the defense license for giving up a 93-yard drive to a first-time in the playoff quarterback. That's the point. Y'all need to get that. All right. I don't know, man. I'm going to say this, Crip Keep. I didn't know if you was a Bama fan, too. I don't know, man. I think 69. Okay, my man. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, you've been around you're long a Cowboy fan than me, man. I've been a Cowboy fan 40, I've been since 77. I remember that I think it was Super Bowl 12, I think. Butch Johnson catches the pass with his hands like that, which would have been a catch today. Caught it and it hit the ground. He got up and celebrated and they gave him a touchdown. I still remember that. I think I was 12. I don't know about. Look, man, Bama is going to be Bama. I don't think Bama will be what they were with Nick Saban. I don't think we'll ever see that again, dude. I think what Nick Saban was able to do is one of the greatest things that you'll ever see in college football. I don't think you'll ever see that again because the powers that be don't want one team to dominate like that. That's why all of this stuff is being pushed. They want a different variety every year because sports fans get tired of the same teams winning every year. But back in my day, we loved dynasties because that gave you something to shoot for. Sorry, it's just a different. Today, younger crowd, younger sports fan has a shorter attention span. If one team wins it all the time, they just don't. It's going to be such and such to win anyway. I won't watch. But if another team wins every year, they like that. But I like one team being dominant. I like that. It gives you something to shoot for, and I like to see excellence. That's just me. Old heads get a. Those old heads got to represent. Okay, yeah. That's right. Randy White. That was the dude, man. The master. That was the dude. Number 54. He's the original 54. Robert Newhouse. Them big thighs. His thighs was like this big, man. He was Earl Campbell size. I missed Starbuck family. Danny White was a QB when I became a fan. Yeah, 83. Yeah, I remember that team. They went 7-0 that year. They lost to the 49ers. No, they lost to the Rams. And they lost to Vince Ferragamo again. I remember that. They lost to Vince Ferragamo in 79, and they lost to Vince Ferragamo in 83 in the Rams. Drew Pearson. Okay, Drew Pearson was a dude, too. The original number 88. Bad man, man. He's a bad man. Like Drew Pearson. Finally got his just due being in the Hall of Fame. Just getting his just due. A couple of things I can be sure this year. People dying, taxes, and the Cowboys being eliminated by mid-January. Can't wait to see Stephen A. Smith. You go on and watch that if you want to, Ricky Smith. I don't watch them. I watch the Cowboy content creators. I don't watch those guys because those guys are actors. I don't fool with them. It's entertaining though. I just don't, Remember Fearsome Foursome of the Rams. You mean Merlin Olsen, Marion Motley? Is it Motley? Motley, Fred Dreyer, and Fred Dreyer, Bubba Smith. Bubba Smith. I think Bubba was it Bubba Smith? Was it Bubba Smith? Merlin, not Mer. Was it Merlin Olsen? Yeah, Merlin Olsen. Um, Bubba Smith. Was it Bubba Smith? Bubba Smith, Merlin Olsen, and Fred Dreyer. I think that was the first one. Maybe tell me if I'm wrong there. Dandy Don Meredith. Yeah, turn out the lights. The party's over. They said it all. Good things must end. I remember that, man, on Monday Night Football. I don't remember him playing, though. That's before my time. Didn't have this team ready to play at home. So mad. I'm mad, too. Still Dak in 52. I'm mad, too. Randy White. Too Tall Jones on defense. Yep. 6'9" playing defensive end. Crazy, man. I don't know, man. I think they will because I just think that Jerry, because he embarrassed Jerry. And I think that's the thing I think that's the thing. We embarrassed Jerry. 31-18, 16 NFC Championship game appearance, 5 Super Bowl titles. After that, I said 5-13 in postseason. Damn, it tough. Young Cowboy fan. Wow. That's a good stat, the lunatic. I did not know that. Since 1986, we're 5-13 in the postseason. I did not know that. That's a good stat, man. It's a good stat. Now, I mean, it's not a good stat. I'm just saying I'm good to know that. That's what I mean. And the Cowboy. I don't know, man. The Packers are here, man, but we'll see what happens. Tony Dorsett, yeah, Tony Dorsett was a dude too. Number 33. Drew Pearson. Terry Jones is the biggest reason for that. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Don't lie. Cowboys did choke. The Cowboy whole organization choked. Played zone today. Yeah, see, that's right. We play man-to-man all, and we're a good man-to-man defense. Playing press man, getting up in the receiver's grill, and then we just playing off today. I don't know what we're doing. Love made the Cowboys look soft. Deal has changed colors. Yeah, it kind of has. It's got to be regulated, though. Right. What did McCarthy do all week? I don't know, but I think him being been out of shape about people asking him about the Packer connection. I think that made for a tight locker room because he was. I don't know, man. I understand him not wanting to talk about it, but I think he made way too much of a deal out of it, and I think it made the locker room a little tight. That's just my opinion. Oh, Love was bad, man. He was a stud today, man. Yeah, yeah. God's child. What's up, God's child? Dynasty, we're back in the previous. Yeah, I remember that too. That's why Green Bay got rid of him. While we, well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he says. All right, people. I think after Letter Networks, this is where we get real Cowboys content. Amen to lunatic. Amen to that. Y'all check out some of the other dudes. Check out Vosh Lombardi. Check out William Skywalker Steele in the mornings on A to Z. He's had some good stuff, man. Check out Law Nation. He has some good stuff, man. Yeah, that's what I watch. I watch that stuff, man. I quit watching that stuff months ago. I stopped watching that stuff months ago. I watched the Cowboy Dominant. Wow, you remember Bob Hayes? Oh my gosh. I only heard about him because I know he was in the game when they played in the ice bowl. He had his hands in his pants because his hands were cold. He was running with his hands in his pants. They didn't have hand warmers, all that fancy stuff. The fastest man on the planet, man. Fastest man on the planet. Shout out to Tony Doyle City Grace Room, but they come out of Western Pennsylvania. Al Quipper. Okay. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. All right, people. Look here, man. Appreciate all of you coming, helping me. I might be able to sleep a little better tonight, man. Season being over, man. Like I said, y'all continue to like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna come back on here maybe in a day or two. I'm gonna need a couple of days to kind of recoup. Come back and we'll kind of see, especially if they make some hires or whatever. I'm not one of these that just come on and talk and just run my mouth. I have to kind of have something to talk about, you know. Anyway, no, they're renegotiating Dak right now, and they may keep him and they may not. But whatever he gets, he's not gonna. I guarantee he's not gonna get what he thinks he's gonna get. But anyway, man, Bama fan, all you guys, man, appreciate you. Love all you guys, man. Appreciate you hanging with the old fella for a while, man. I love the interaction, love the talk. Love all of that, man. I love all of that, man. Appreciate you guys, man. We'll catch you guys. I bleed silver and blue too. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Like I said, please like and then share the content with some other people, man, so the other people know. I'm trying to get up to my 1,000 subs so they can start paying me for this. All this stuff comes on my own dime and whatever. So y'all help a brother out, man. But anyway, that's all I got, man. Catch you guys on the next video. Once again, Cowboys take it on the chin. 48-32. Another first round, one and done. And Cowboy fans are heartbroken. But tomorrow's another day, and we'll still be Cowboy fans in the morning. So we'll catch you guys. God bless.
Two times on the beat, bitch.